but I'm starting, and Matt,
Yes.
your catch up first while I get this playing on.
Oh, okay. My catch up. What to start with? Let's start with movies because I think that I had the fewest of those. Let's see. Katie and I watched Night with the Devil, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was great. And David Dasmalkian. Luke, are you okay? You're gonna vomit. You're
Okay.
good.
What happened already?
I burped, and the Nestor carbonellation of the soda went into my sinuses.
We're
Oh, I'm so
already.
sorry.
Mark pressed start less than a
Already
minute
on
ago.
the rails.
Yep.
Ooh. My God. Continue.
It's not playing down here, but
Oh,
Shoot. You know what?
It's
It
gonna
should
go
be
on
on. Well,
Shudder.
it's gonna be on Shutter.
I know, but I kind of wanted to watch it in a theater
yeah.
because
I
it
know.
feels like that kind of movie.
But
It was fun in
it's
theaters.
like
for
supposed to be
Yeah.
like old late night TV, so maybe you like watch it.
That's
like,
true.
Watch on
That was
TV.
That is a good point.
Watch it like.
But our
later night.
TVs are not old.
True. We gotta find a boob tube.
Excuse me?
Is that what these?
What?
What?
Yeah. It's the TV with the big back on it.
It's
It's
called a boob tube?
Oh, was our
Yeah.
Daiwu a boob tube?
Was ours a
Maybe.
boob tube?
Hold on. Okay.
How
I'll
did
look
I
it up.
not know this? This feels like something I should know.
Boob tube, informal, North American, television or television set.
What? A boob tube?
Boob tube?
According to Katie, the ones you wheeled out in a classroom was a boob tube.
Those were boob tubes? This is vital information. This is gonna change my life.
I think they called it that because they like those views of like, oh, if you watch too much TV, it's gonna make you stupid. So they called it a boob tube.
Or
because-
because the back was so big, it looked like it had a big boob.
It looked like a titty.
Is that it?
maybe.
Yeah.
Whoa, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw it like that, but
Um,
You don't look at TVs and immediately see a big boob. Just
no.
one boob tube. They don't
Okay.
call it boobs tube.
yeah, you're the weird ones. I'm not the weird one. My selling point for Late Night with the Devil is I think I counted 9 different production company logos before the movie
Hell
actually
yeah.
started.
Always the best sign.
I was
know-
like, it kept going. After like 4, I was like, wow, this is a lot. And then it just kept going. I was like,
That's
holy
great.
shit.
Did you guys see like the whole thing with Mike Flanagan in that movie?
Oh,
Yes,
no,
That
I
all
did
the-
not.
alerted me to that.
That
yeah.
the letterbox. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're
So
you know the
basically,
letterbox
it's
people.
Explain.
The letterbox kids went after Mike Flanagan because he liked this movie, and there's 2 stills in it
Oh, wait,
that were
the-
AI.
Yeah, the
generated.
AI.
Right.
Which
but,
is strange. I will say that.
Yeah.
They should not have done that.
but it's also
That
like
was my
the
view,
rest
is
of the
like,
movie.
You
They shouldn't have
can't
done it.
take
good.
away the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I saw someone give it a half-star review. They were
Just
like, I
because of
thought I
that.
was going to enjoy this movie, but I gave it half stars because of the AI. I'm like, well, you're
That's-
silly
yeah.
because everything
Yeah.
else about this movie is great.
And that's
I
why,
do,
like,
and I do think we should address and point out the use of AI, but I don't think that should take away everything else about the movie and everybody else who worked hard on the movie.
I
That's
agree.
that's stupid.
And in their corner, to be fair, this movie was made before the new SAG agreement where it said you can't do that. So it's
Right.
like, I give them a
Yeah.
pass. Like, we get it. I don't like that they did it, but
Hopefully,
what it
it's
is.
not an indicator
Yeah.
of it being used more and for more than just frames. You
Right.
know,
And I
Right.
get people saying like
I think
they
we
have
should
to make
talk
a big.
about it.
They're making and I get like people are saying like just because it's 2 stills we still need to talk like that makes sense. But I'm glad it wasn't the
Yeah.
entire movie or entire sequences and so I get it.
it
and
wouldn't
it's
even
good that
make
people-
sense. Like that's not even.
Yeah, I would say it's good that people are calling it out, but the way they're doing it, where they're like attacking
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan for liking the
Yes.
movie anyway, and he's like, it's still a good movie, and they're like, how could you say that? It's like, guys, the rest of the movie is good.
Well-
Then it's a good movie. I don't get it.
That's the
Yes.
thing is like yes we should absolutely talk about it, but it's a thing with everything is that people's first instinct is to start attacking,
Yeah.
and it fucking sucks and it ruins everything, and that's why fucking Twitter is a hellhole.
Oh
yeah, it's been a hellhole for many
For
a year now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Twitter.
X.
Yes.
Is it called some X?
It's called
It's
X.
just called
Yep.
No,
X.
nobody says that though.
Nobody calls it that.
It's just
Yeah.
as Twitter, because it's been known as that for so long, and changing it to X is a stupid fucking thing to
And
do.
Elon Musk is a clown.
Yeah,
I'm so out of the loop that the only reason I kind of knew this was happening was Kevin's videos. He said something like, I saw this on
Luke,
Twitter.
This is
or whatever.
old
I know.
news.
He was like, or
Okay.
whatever it's called now, and I was like, what does that mean? Didn't look it up.
That's
then I
all.
was
Did
like,
you know that
"Hmm."
Elon Musk?
saw-
Did you know that
And I
Elon
saw
Musk
on,
owns it now?
online it said X.
Did you know that?
I did know that. Like
Okay.
I knew that, and then I think there was
Okay.
an inkling. I was like, they're changing the name.
Luke,
you should know. It's
I
X.
want you to know that change happened 9 months ago. I looked it up. It was July of last year.
You're telling me I could have had a baby before I figured out that Twitter's name changed?
Yeah,
Luke-
that's so funny.
That's
Luke's
pretty
so behind that like
Good one,
by the
Luke.
time he
Thank
finally
you.
gets it,
Thank you.
by the time you finally get to the trends, Luke, it's 9 months later. It's almost a full year. That's
Well,
insane.
Luke's any knowledge about any of that comes from me, and so if I deem it not important, he doesn't know.
Ah, smart.
You're the keeper of my cultural knowledge. Not entirely. Not entirely. I know things. It's just
like
some
what?
things I just don't. Like I know that.
Most things aren't important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I
but it
didn't
was a
know
good
what
movie.
The controversy was about. I knew there was. Yes, I knew there was AI. I didn't know where. So after the movie was over, Katie and I were both like trying to figure out what it was, and we were like, I don't know. And so I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Hmm.
Good movie. I recommend it.
Awesome.
And we finished watching Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
uh-huh.
She asked me when we were watching it during the scene where they went out into the forest and all the spiders. She's like, "Did this scene scare you as a kid?" And I was like, "You bet your ass it scared me as a kid."
Poor Ron. The whole time he's
So
there, he's
scared.
trying to leave.
Ron doesn't want to ever be around any of this, and he's like,
I
"Come
love
on."
it. What do you mean? He has every right to be not involved in any of the shit that's happening.
Oh yeah,
Harry
it's just
doesn't want to be involved in any of the shit that's happening, and he's the chosen one.
Ron just gets dragged into it. Poor
I
kid.
know.
We also watched the first half of The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Nice.
Katie has decided that the hippogriff's name is Scooter, and we have
That's
been
good.
referring to him as such.
I like that.
Do
That's
you
a-
agree that
assumption.
the first half of Prisoner of Azkaban is fucking wild? It is
It-
like headache inducing, but good.
I think it's easier when I remember the plot beforehand. If I hadn't, it would have been like hard to keep up.
Well,
It-
you also didn't watch it on a DVD that had the
Full screen.
boxes. that
Oh,
you
yes, no, I
posted
didn't.
with how Luke and I watched it, because we watched it the month it wasn't on
I-
Max, and it was on Peacock, and the times were changed and all that weird stuff.
Yeah, the Prisoner of Azkaban though, in terms of just straight vibes, at least in the first half, I'm like really digging the vibes, and
Hell
I'm
yeah.
glad because it was my favorite growing up. I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, just wait till the second half, dude.
Oh, I know.
Very-
Snape didn't have a lot to do in the second movie, so when he walks in and it's
I
just like
know.
closing it,
I
turn to
know.
page 394.
He's such a bitch.
He's funny.
I love.
I love him.
He's like, Hermione, you're a kiss ass, -5 points.
I know. Love
Very
him so much.
funny. And then I think that's it for movies besides Little Miss Sunshine, which we will save discussion for. For TV shows, I'm in the middle of episode 7 of season 1 of Broadchurch.
Holy crap!
Things
Holy
hate-
crap!
no,
I didn't
no,
realize. I didn't realize you were at that point.
Yeah.
How many
Crap.
episodes are there?
10
8?
and 8 in the first one.
There are 8.
There are 8. I did not know this.
Yeah, so you're at the end basically.
It does feel like we're like really
Matt,
reaching a conclusion, but
You know that season 1 is on Prime.
that's where I'm watching it.
Okay, because for some reason I thought you said that you were watching it with ads.
I am.
Yeah, 'cause Prime has ads now.
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Dad
Prime
has it-
introduces.
Dad has it without ads.
Oh, I
He-
don't pay
that's
for
why,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
why I was confused. Yeah,
yeah,
Prime is
it's-
ads now.
Let me tell you, Katie and I. Oh, we also watched half. Almost forgot. We watched half of this Spanish horror movie called Veronica today, but
Oh.
we've not watched the second half. Do you know Netflix has ads now on the level that ours is at.
Yeah.
And it said like you'll have a few ads. Oh, there's a Miss Joan here.
Hello, Joan.
Joan. Oh, hi Joan.
What's up, Joan?
Oh.
It said you'll have a few ads, and I looked, and there were 7 ad breaks in the movie, and I was like, a few.
Wow.
Is that
Yeah.
more than Tubi?
Yeah, no,
Right?
yeah, because Tubi has like 4. Tubi
Right?
has them where they're
Well-
supposed to be. Eh,
No,
maybe
I
5.
think it's the
I don't
same
know.
as Tubi.
Maybe
but-
7.
Tubi has like Tubi has like maybe 6, but there's like 2 every time.
But also
guess
Tubi's
during
free. You
But
don't
they're
have to
in
pay
good
for it
places.
and then have ads
Right.
on top.
Oh,
of it.
I'm
Very true.
thinking of Tubi for a movie.
Yeah.
For episodes, I'm sure it's less. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
most likely, yeah. It was just like the movie's only an hour 40, and I was like 7 ad breaks. That's crazy. Anyway, for other shows, I caught up on Abbott today,
Nice.
and Chucky came back.
We haven't. Yes.
Okay, I'm not
I
gonna
we
reveal
haven't-
I
anything.
didn't know.
How'd you not know? Luke and I watch it together though, and he came down today, so we haven't
Right.
watched it yet.
It is called something different than it says on Letterboxd or on Serialized.
It's not
Mm.
anger denial. That.
It's not. It's the name of a movie, but I won't tell you which movie.
Oh shit.
House
Oh,
Without
shit.
Corpses.
No.
That'd be
Oh my
really
God.
funny. That would be a
Is it-
really apt one, honestly.
They
Mm.
already had Jennifer's Body.
They
The
did.
perfect title. They had
Death on
Dressed to
Denial.
Kill.
They had Dress to Kill. They had.
What was the
Um,
first one?
the first one was not a movie. It was Murder at 1600, I think.
Right.
Which, so it didn't fit the theme. And then it was.
Is that not the address?
It is the address, but that's not an actual movie. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
All the other ones are movies.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and then Let the Right One In was also.
Got it. That's good. Okay, yeah. Don't tell us what the name of the
I
episode
won't.
is.
But I caught up on that. I watched most of these today, so I just like caught up on a ton of them today.
Nice.
And then for books, I'm 40% of the way done with Heretics of Dune, and I continued reading in that horror short story book that Trini got me, and I
Ooh.
read a book about ghost dogs, or
Nice.
a
Hell
story about
yeah.
ghost dogs
Ooh.
by Edith Wharton. I read.
No.
Oh, it's Kelly's favorite
God
author.
Damn it!
I don't even know who
cannot
she is.
stand Ethan Frome. I fucking hate that book. I'm
Oh, no.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure her other writing is good, but I had to read Ethan Frome for class and I hated it.
I will say I didn't know who Edith Wharton was, so this is enlightening. Thank you.
He wrote Ethan Frome,
Okay.
which
I
I don't like.
noted.
She loved
Don't read that book.
Don't do it.
I also
Or
read.
do. Form your own opinion.
Okay. I don't want to read it now.
Thank you.
Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Okay.
And I'm currently
know.
in the middle of Turn of the Screw by Henry
Ooh.
James.
Nice.
Luke
and-
read some Henry James.
Flora and Mrs. Gross have already been introduced, and I'm like, I know these people. These
That's
are my
cool.
Oh,
people.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
These are my
He
friends.
writes in such long sentences.
Yes.
It's like it's like
Mhm.
14 clauses put together with commas. It's
Ooh, I
crazy.
like that.
That's how I write. He gets
Yeah.
it.
Some semicolons. Some semicolons.
If I
I-
could write
occasional.
without periods, I would.
Did you know that the guy who won the Nobel Prize for literature last year was a Swedish guy, and his book was one sentence,
How long was it?
like 300 pages. Like
gets it.
He gets it. So
He
look it
gets
up.
it.
Yeah.
Run-on
What's his
sentences are
name?
my
Okay.
fave.
Okay. You've
Um,
intrigued me.
I think he was Swedish. It was something like that. Yeah. So look that up.
So you can't stop reading.
I've been doing
other-
Swedish.
You can't stop in the middle of a sentence.
Thank you for reminding me. We
Huh?
watched a Dateline.
Yeah. Just
Just gotta read the whole
Watch the
thing in one
Dateline.
sitting.
Okay. I'm listening
you.
that.
It was about a murder in Tucson, Arizona.
oh,
that-
gosh.
Whoa.
Katie knew about beforehand.
Whoa.
That's
that-
crazy.
Like her parents remember her dad was driving down that street like when it was a car bomb.
Whoa.
It was a car bomb at a resort, like this like country club. And it was like ex-wife murdered him for insurance money.
Whoa.
And it was right next to her school. This happened in
That's
nine-
so. s-
Isn't
Go
that
ahead.
crazy? It
That's
happened
so
in
surreal.
You're right. It happened in 1996, but they didn't actually like solve it, and she didn't get tried until 2017.
Oh.
So it was happening. There was the gossip around her school. That's right when Katie was in high school.
Oh
Oh.
my
Um,
god.
And also, yeah,
Crazy.
so like they're like naming places where I'm like, I know that street. I've been there. They showed the
Oh.
courthouse, and Katie was like, "Hey, when I had jury duty, I ate a Subway sandwich sitting on it."
That's crazy.
That is so surreal watching
Yeah.
Dateline and something wow.
It's because
Jeez.
watching it feels like a whole like other world, and now I'm watching it, seeing things that we've seen all the time. It's really weird. It is
That's
very
crazy.
surreal. She even said that she thinks that her mom's side of the family knew of this guy before he was murdered, because he was kind of a high roller, big spender, country club
Oh
type.
my god.
Oh
It-
my.
It
That's
was wild.
crazy.
Yeah. It was
Freaking
Wow.
Luke
crazy.
out.
I almost forgot to bring that up. Yeah.
Ugh.
Luke, do you know Sunrise Drive? It's up by the foothills.
Yes.
The episode is called
Sounds
Murder
familiar.
on Sunrise Drive.
Ugh, ah.
It's pretty wild.
That's upsetting. Wow. What?
And I think that's it for my catch up.
By the way, to go back to that book,
Yeah.
his name is John Fosse. He's from Norway.
Norway, not Swedish.
Damn. Sorry. Okay. Norwegian.
I don't know what the book is called.
I
Hold
think
on.
he wrote like a trilogy of books, and all of
All
them
one
were like
sentence?
one sentence or something. I don't
That's
know.
Man.
It's crazy.
Anyway, we can continue.
Well, you're next. So
Who's next? Yeah,
Who?
Luke. You.
Me?
I feel like you guys are super delayed. for me.
Super. Like, should we? What should
I,
we do
maybe-
about
it's
that?
fine. It's fine.
Are we just really slow on the uptick, or is
It's
it
just
actually delayed?
The replies are like there's a pause every time.
Maybe it's just us.
Just give me 1 second.
Try to be faster.
1 second. We're gonna come right back. Okay. Podcast listeners, we're trying to join the call
Like,
again.
this is the kids' show.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had a part that they ended the episode by like a character saying, "Don't squeeze me too hard, I'll fart," and then he farted, and then the
What?
episode was over.
What did I come
Nice.
into? What is this?
Adventure
Oh.
Time.
Katie and I watched
Nice.
Adventure Time, and it was very funny.
Adventure Time's incredible. Do you remember when it like got fucking crazy with
I
like?
don't.
Oh
like,
my
I
god,
don't remember
that
a lot
show
of
got that show got insane. Like
Did
good,
it?
like, but it was
Yeah.
like so much lore. It
God,
was
I can't
crazy.
wait.
I didn't get
Yeah,
into
you
it
should keep
because
watching.
it took Flapjack's spot and
Mm,
like replaced
Fla-
it, so I refused
I
to watch.
brought up Flapjack too.
Uh,
Yeah.
Both are good.
No, they
Both
both
are
can be
good.
good. My brain didn't comprehend that when I was 9. I was like, this is not
You were
allowed to be
not
good
9.
if it took over Flapjack. I'm
I
sure
understand.
Flapjack also probably just ended and then Adventure Time did it.
Yeah.
But in my brain, it was in the same spot,
Yes.
so it got canceled
Oh, yeah.
for Adventure Time, which is not how it works.
Right.
So
Is
And
the
from
timing better now?
Flapjack, Gravity Falls came because Alex Hirsch, right? Did
Mm.
he create Flapjack or did he just
I
help on it?
don't know about that.
Is he involved with Flapjack in
don't
any
know.
way?
thought he
We're
was.
gonna find out.
Or Luke
I
told me
thought
that
he
and lied
was.
to me.
You're thinking of fish hooks.
Fish
Are you
hook?
thinking of Fish Hook?
Shark
No,
Tank?
Maybe
no,
it was.
he's involved with Flapjack. He wrote 6 episodes.
That's
Um,
awesome. That makes
yeah.
so much sense.
Flapjack's good
Wow.
stuff.
That makes actually way too much sense.
Do you guys remember Shorty McShort Shorts?
What?
It aired, I think, between episodes of things on like Cartoon Network.
He's a
He was the co-creator of that, and it was
Wow.
like that
That
rang
makes
a
sense.
bell in my head. Yeah.
Where do you make short shorts? I don't know that actually.
But do you know Chalk Zone?
I do
Because
know
I was
some
talking to
Chalk
Katie
Zone.
about
Chalk
Chalk
Zone's
Zone.
pretty good.
That was a good show. Did you know what the main character of Chalk Zone was named? Because I was looking up Chalk Zone,
No.
and it was a silly ass name. It was Rudy to Booty.
nice.
That's good.
Good name.
It was good.
Here's okay. Everybody think about and we'll answer at the end of the podcast. Everybody think about what you would be named if you didn't have your name.
Like if you could
Oh,
choose.
Yeah,
I've been
like
asked this
Rudy
in
McChoot or whatever
Oh.
you just said.
hmm.
So answer at the end of the podcast.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be us sitting
Let's move
here
on.
staring off into space for 15 minutes.
But let's move on.
Okay.
All right, Luke.
Unless you have more, Matt.
Oh, you did ask me last week to assign us all Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I had not thought about it once until I was falling asleep last night, and then
Nice.
I was like, "Oh shit!" And so let me see what I can remember what I thought about. I was gonna give A New Hope to Luke,
Okay.
That's correct.
Empire to Mark.
Oh.
Okay.
Kelly, you get Return of the Jedi. There's some with the Ewoks and the weird silly shit going on. There.
Okay, the shit that people hate.
It's fun. I don't know.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. And then Phantom Menace is Luke 100%. I'm Attack of the Clones. I don't know.
Interesting.
why.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Matt.
Luke,
Mark,
when we
I was
did
gonna
it,
give you
when we
Revenge of
did
the
it,
Sith.
I'm
Mark
confused,
gave
though.
me
I know.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay.
No.
Luke, I'm confused because I give myself Attack of the Clones when I did this, and you also agreed with that. So just move on.
You guys are
Okay.
both right. They're good assignments either way.
And okay, and then The Force Awakens, I was gonna give Luke or me. 'Cause it would make sense if you had A New Hope, you would also get Force Awakens, so I'll stick with that. Mark, you get Last Jedi.
Yeah,
We were
okay,
both defenders of the good parts of that movie.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
And
I don't know
Kelly, I
about
was
that.
gonna
Don't
give you.
fucking dare! Don't you fucking
Wait,
dare! No,
I was gonna. Wait,
You don't agree with me that I'm defender of
Wait.
Last Jedi?
hold on. No. You are a defender too. Kelly, I was debating on whether to not give anyone Rise of Skywalker or just the beginning part where they go, "The dead speak," and then when Poe goes, "Somehow the Emperor returned."
Oh, actually, you know, maybe
Just
I am
funny.
that movie. You know what? Okay.
Do you want me to do Solo and Rogue One?
Yes. I-
Rogue One is dad.
Yes. That is dad.
I don't know about Solo. Kelly, you can get Solo because Alden Ehrenreich is in perfect twink form, and
Yeah.
also Donald Glover.
That's amazing. Mark also gave Solo to me
Yeah.
for basically the same reason.
I also
I didn't
feel
know if
that-
I was allowed to call him a twink, but you know, it is.
It
You're
is.
allowed to
happened-
do whatever you want. You should use the word twink more. That was incredible and so spot on. I haven't
Thank
seen
you.
that movie, but I, from what I've heard, I
Oh,
think
spot
it's neat.
on.
Yeah.
Kelly, it makes sense that you get the ones that Star Wars fans hate for dumb reasons. You know what I
That
mean?
does make
So
sense
it
because
ma-
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
Do
I
Star
was.
Wars fans hate Return of the Jedi?
they don't like
No.
the Ewok stuff though. Like they don't like certain
the
things
Ewok
about
stuff.
it. Yeah.
You know, I have a gripe with
Yeah.
Star Wars fans
Okay.
because
Oh, I have many gripes with Star Wars fans.
here's my gripe with at least the fans that do this, where they're fans of Return of the Jedi because it's part of the original trilogy, but they hate Force Awakens, even though they do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
they don't like Force Awakens because it's too much like the original. But literally in Return of the Jedi, there's a second Death Star. It's called the second Death Star, and it's just the same.
And the
But they
ending is the
like it
same
just because
as
it was made
Empire.
in '83.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and you know what they should do? Just like both.
Have
Yeah,
fun with
Just
it.
like bold.
They should
have
just
fun.
have fun.
Or if you
Anyway,
don't like
that's
both,
my gripe.
it's okay, but don't be an
And that's
asshole
fine.
about
Yeah.
it.
Well, and
Just
like
don't be an asshole.
I know there's
yeah.
reasons to like one or the other, but it just seems like I was like, well, if you don't like it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't
they
like
get
that
too
argument. I don't
angry.
like the argument of
Listen.
this is part of the original trilogy,
Yep.
so it's good because
I just think have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Just
they
have
made a whole
fun.
movie for you.
I am a very big. I think you are allowed to be a hater. I think hating is fun, but if you're annoying about it,
Mm.
then
Right.
fuck off.
Right.
Don't
right.
be annoying.
Hate it for
It's
fun
fun to be
reasons.
a hater, but stop being fucking annoying. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
For sure.
Yes. 100%.
Matt, those are good assignment. I feel like it was
Thank you.
almost the same I did.
It was basically
I think I just had
Yeah.
time
a
to
good assignment.
clones.
Thank you, Matt, for doing that.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I remembered.
That's so fun.
Mark, I
We
remember
should
your
do, like an
assignment.
assignment every time.
I think
Mark,
everything
I
was
think
pretty much the same.
I think this was Mark's assignment. It was
Okay.
me New Hope, me Empire,
Oh, yeah.
you Mark Return the Jedi, me Phantom Menace, Mark Attack the Clones,
Kelly Revenge of the Sith.
Kelly Revenge of the
I
Sith.
was, yeah.
yeah.
Because the actors
Matt
want to
Rogue
kiss,
One.
not the characters, but the actors
Yes.
want to kiss.
Of course.
Yeah, the actors want to kiss. It was.
I had to make it clear.
Yeah.
Matt
Wait,
Rogue
Ewan
One,
and Hayden?
Kelly Solo.
Yeah.
What?
Matt, you got Rogue One, Kelly got
Cool.
Solo.
Ah,
I think
cool,
that
cool,
was
cool.
Mark's.
Yeah.
And your assignments are also spot on, so they're both correct.
Has anyone here watched the Obi-Wan show that came out that people didn't like?
No.
No.
Hayden
People
Christensen.
don't like it?
No, but Hayden Christensen was in the Darth Vader costume doing it. The actors
my God.
100% wanted to kiss throughout doing this entire thing.
Oh,
100%.
Interesting.
Maybe even more so.
I
than
love
me.
it.
Interesting.
I don't know how I
I
know
love
that.
that.
You couldn't even see his face. You could just tell, right? They both
Oh,
also
yeah.
really like
There was an
each other, so
energy.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, what did you do
I love
last week?
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to explain that book that Matt so intrigued
Oh,
me
yes.
about. I think it's called Septology, which means
Yes.
7, right? Because it's a single sentence 7 novel sequence.
Yeah.
And the novels are about an aging painter living on his own outside a remote village in Norway with his doppelganger leading a parallel existence elsewhere.
One sentence.
One sentence.
That's crazy.
What's
What did I do? I did not do a ton.
Yes. Are you not going to talk about the things that we watched together?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because we watched
We did.
yeah,
watch
we watched a lot of stuff. I'll just say what they are. We watched Half-Blood Prince,
Mm.
Lisa Frankenstein,
Mm.
Little Miss Sunshine, and Ripley.
Ripley.
Oh, right.
And yes, and I rewatched Little Miss Sunshine. I've been
Nice.
reading The Trespasser. For school, I've had to read like the Henry James thing
Ooh, Henry James reappearance.
called The Real Thing, and I had to talk about like what was real and unreal and what like the boundaries between like, and you know I think I made a good discussion on it.
Okay.
I
That's all that you can do.
Yeah.
I was kind of having fun with it. I was,
Good.
I think the
Kind
story
of.
was like, but when I was like, okay, if I could talk about realness, okay, yeah, that was good. And then I read this book for school, or the story called "Help Me Follow My Sister into the Land of the Dead"
Whoa.
by Carmen Machado, and it's written as a GoFundMe page.
Oh.
That's a story,
Like it's set up like it is a GoFundMe.
right?
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like the homepage is like the setup, and then the updates are the present action, like what's happening.
Oh.
And
Huh,
then the
cool.
comments are other characters, and it was really good because there's this twist and it gooped me, and she did it in a GoFundMe page.
That's wild. How innovative.
So I was really impressed,
Speaking
and
of
I was like,
goop,
"Good job."
Why
No.
did we say sunscreen was goop when we were kids?
That's the
Why did we
sound.
call it goop?
the
Because
sound when it
it's
comes
goop.
out.
There's no way to explain sunscreen except it being goop.
It made me feel yucky whenever I wore it, so maybe
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I don't like lotion and like sunscreen on my hands and stuff.
Don't
so
like lotion.
yeah, on my hands.
You dry.
Yeah, I'm
dry ass bitch.
So dry.
I don't like it on my
It's
hands.
like those
I
people who are like,
yeah.
I don't like water. What do you mean you don't like water?
Water. Yeah, you don't like living.
I don't.
Speaking
like
of, what the hell?
Mark, go drink some water.
I
Drink
have
some
water.
fucking water, bitch. You
I
dry,
drink it.
dry bitch.
Mhm.
You don't like water? What do you mean? I don't understand when people say they don't
You can
like
be
water.
like
I don't
me.
like
Look at this
drinking it.
caffeine.
Ooh, I like that. I like that right there.
Luke,
I haven't drinking a Coke in like a week, and so the
Luke-
caffeine is hopping my receptors.
Whoa.
please read how much sugar. What is the percentage daily value of
I think it's
sugar on that thing?
136.
0%.
Lies.
Totally
Mark,
guess.
your fucking entire systems and
57.
your kidneys are awful. You say you don't
Uh,
like water.
I drink it. I just don't like it.
78%.
And
okay,
just
so-
the can?
Okay, guys, but total fat.
I can't
0.
judge you. My
Well,
addiction.
Well, then it's good for you.
Yeah.
Also, I'm
Get
pretty
this
sure.
form by not.
I'm pretty sure like the FDA has not changed like what the sugar intake can be, and everyone consumes way more than they should and have adapted to it. To be completely honest.
Yeah, our bodies are.
so-
Yeah,
fucked.
we've become superhuman and we can take
They
in
should
so
just
much
start
sugar.
putting cocaine in Coke again.
Yeah?
I'd
You
start
know what?
drinking soda again if they did that.
I signed that petition, but nobody wanted to talk to me about it.
Guys, I haven't drank in soda in like 4 years.
Nice.
You're like
Whoa,
Dwayne the Rock
nice.
Johnson.
I'm like, but if they started putting cocaine in it, there's nothing I can do to stop myself.
There's nothing you can do.
I saw a YouTube thumbnail. I didn't watch the video, but it was like Dwayne Johnson tries candy for the first time in 20 years, and it was on some talk show, and he ate like a piece of candy, and it was like the first time in years.
Watch it be like one of
We
the
believe
shitty
this.
candies, like a
Yeah.
Charleston Chew or something. And it's like, oh, why did you choose that one?
Yeah.
Charleston
Ooh.
Chew.
Speaking of which, I had a Pearson salted nut roll, and it did not hit the spot like
Yeah,
I
it
was
did.
expecting it,
was-
to.
We know that was 2 weeks ago.
I
when Mark
think
was
it's
down.
just I wasn't. It was too chalkboardy.
Yeah,
I
I think it's because
vanilla
there was
nougat.
white stuff in the middle, not chocolate.
Well, because the vanilla nougat was good. It was
Oh,
just
it's
too.
nougat. Okay.
Nougat.
Anyway,
You know what's
no.
fucking good?
What?
Payday.
Pearson
Payday's
salted
are
nut
good.
roll
Payday.
still good.
Yes.
Payday makes me think of pops.
I'd eat the salted nut roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Same, yeah.
Oh.
Payday.
All right, Luke. Continue.
What else?
That was really.
That was all. But Kelly and I watched a lot of stuff. Yes,
Well,
reading.
did
I'm
you watch
still
any
in
TV by yourself?
The trespass. Niche. I no. But I did a lot of homework. In case you guys.
Wow.
Sick.
Yes.
Sick.
Didn't play with me on Monday because you're doing homework. How kind of me to
That's
ask,
correct.
even though Tony wasn't doing it. So. And you
Yes,
left me out to
that's correct.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's correct.
Kelly, what'd you do?
It's correct.
Luke, you
That's
suck.
correct. It's correct.
What did I do? Luke and I finished Chamber of Secrets in the Lego Harry Potter video game.
Oh,
And
boy.
we played one level of Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, first of all, so we played Chamber of Secrets, and I got to play as Tom. I almost said Tom Ripley. As Tom Riddle in Tom Riddle's diary. It
Ooh.
was crazy. It was perfect
Also,
for me.
Speaking
Also-
of twinks.
And speaking of
Yeah,
twinks,
nice
and we played one level of Prisoner of Azkaban, and we got to play as Lupin.
no.
And-
Yeah.
Kelly, you got to play as Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh.
I gotta play as Gilderoy Lockhart. And we gotta play as Remus Lupin. And we're one level into Prisoner of Azkaban, which is Luke and I's all-time favorite story. And hopefully by the end of it, we'll get to play as Sirius Black.
Ooh.
And so,
Nice, amazing,
yeah,
thank you.
so we're on the third movie, which means that we're almost done with the years 1 through 4,
Yeah.
right? And we're almost on to 5 through 7, and it's called 5 through 7, even though there's 8 movies and they're based off the movies, because they call the 8th one 7 Part 2.
Yeah.
That's because it is
Lame.
the second part of the seventh.
But like, it's
story.
the 8th movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Peacock it has an 8 on it in the little corner.
On Max, it has 2
I'm
there's 2
excited.
7s.
Deathly Hollows was my
they're
favorite
back on
growing up, so
Max.
I'm excited.
They're back on
to-
Max.
They're back on Max, so watch them on Max, because that way the times are correct. That way it has all the content.
I had no idea they're on Max now. Okay.
So they were on Max in February, off in March, back on in April, I believe.
What the hell's going on over at Max?
I don't know.
I don't know. You know what? They got a lot of shit. I
Cocaine.
like it.
Luke.
Cocaine?
Luke,
They're
do you
doing a
remember
lot of
when we
cocaine,
had the
probably.
PS3 version of Deathly Hallows Part 1, and we couldn't get past that one level?
I do. Oh my gosh, I do.
It was like the
battle-
second
oh,
level.
Kelly, you're gonna get to it. It's a good part. It's like the second level. It's called something. It's actually called an event in the
I don't know.
universe of Harry
We never got
Potter.
past it. It
But
had the
it's
PlayStation
such a-
Move.
yeah.
But
Yes, because as a kid, I would act that part out
yes.
in the movie. I was like, oh, I get to play it, and we could not
We
get
couldn't
past,
get
it.
past
It was
it.
like The Last of Us.
Oh,
when
The
we were young.
Last of Us when we give up for
We
4
couldn't get-
years. But Deathly Hallows Part 1, I saw a YouTube video where they were talking about every Harry Potter game because now, of course, Harry Potter's popping up on everything since we're talking about it. And it was
Right.
every single video game because they're talking about that Chamber of Secrets that Garrett likes and all that stuff. The very bottom of it was Deathly Hallows Part 1, that PS3 version. Apparently, everyone fucking hates
Oh,
that
the
video
bottom.
game. Yes, it's awful, apparently.
Dang.
They made a Part 2
So
that
we
is
were
also-
actually.
We're Pretty smart.
Really?
Yeah.
So
we
we're
gave up-
ahead of the curve.
We're ahead of the curve, even though we gave up on Last of Us for a while.
Yeah, but we went back to it.
Yeah, but like
We
we
went
didn't
back
know,
to
we
it
didn't know you
because-
could throw bricks. So
That's the entire game.
that's
is
the whole
throwing
game.
bricks.
That's the only reason we couldn't get past that. It's like me playing Fallout 4.
We didn't want to use. We didn't want to use our brains. We
Yeah.
just wanted to.
Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run.
Okay. Sorry, Kelly.
Okay. And then, Luke and I finished season 1 of Malcolm in the Middle.
Nice.
Absolutely phenomenal.
I've also started Abbott with
Oh,
Mom
yeah.
Day.
Yes.
By the way.
Luke is 4 episodes. We
5.
literally for dinner
Oh.
just watched Breakup.
Okay. That's
Uh,
5.
Which,
I've not seen that one
guys. Yeah, you have.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was the newest one. Breakup.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay.
We're rewatching it. Yeah. Crazy. The Fleabag with an F joke.
Joke.
One of my favorite jokes of the show. Absolutely crazy to be an abbot.
I did not get it at first. It took me a little bit.
No, I know. I was just staring at Luke and his face was blank. I was very confused. Dad got it right away. He thought that was hilarious. Okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, I haven't watched any more of it, but I forgot to tell you guys. I haven't watched any more of Girls, but I forgot to tell you that Yorma Tacone is in it, and he
No.
plays the most douchebaggy artist named Booth Jonathan, and I think he's gonna get with Allison Williams.
Oh no.
It's crazy, guys. It is so funny. I lost my shit when he showed up. And his name is Booth Jonathan, and he's
Booth.
such a dick.
Booth Jonathan.
I had to tell you guys, that was crazy. Okay, together, Luke, what did we... Okay, so we watched all of Ripley, last weekend, which I really liked it. Luke?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was it was a totally different kind of take on it. I would say that it was like it was-
Noir.
It was
Noir.
noir. Yeah, it was
was Noir.
it was noir. It was like it was very artistic. It was yeah. So I really liked that.
Logan
Thought
Noir.
there was gonna be and
Very
then
Noir.
Luke, what did we watch together?
P&TH-BP.
What?
Okay.
What?
Luke, you stress me out sometimes.
Say
I'm
Pete?
gonna-
Ampersand?
Yeah, okay. So we watched yes,
I don't
we
know if there's
watched
an
Harry
ampersand
Potter
in
and the
that.
Half-Blood Prince.
Oh, yes.
Which
That's what that was.
How'd
yeah,
you feel, Kelly?
I've enjoyed every Harry Potter so far, and that hasn't changed with this. I always have fun with it cuz it's just fun movies.
Yeah.
This has a lot of the same problems as Goblet of Fire.
Mm.
Where most of it is dedicated to them being horny, and then it gets
Oh.
super serious.
Yeah.
No, this is one where everybody is just horned up for some reason. Even though last movie his godfather died, they like don't even go into him. Like I thought he would be angst boy like he was in Order of the Phoenix. He was angst boy in that one. I thought he was going to be angst boy again, but he wasn't as angsty. And then it was just all about them being horned up, and then Dumbledore dies. So
Spoilers.
what? Everybody
I was
fucking
joking.
knows.
Spoilers for the 15-year-old movie.
That everyone knows
Um,
and or has read the book.
What was I gonna say? I had a lot of fun with it. I thought the actors all did a really good job. Like, even though most of the movie, like, literally the movie's an hour and a half, and like 2 hours. Sorry, it's 2.5 hours. Like 2 hours of it is everybody being horned up. I still think everybody did a good job, and I was having a fun time with it because it was fun. But like. Guys, I'm
Hey, but
sorry.
when-
I can't
when-
figure out I can't like form
when-
sentences right now.
When Harry takes Adderall and
Oh,
Daniel's
yes.
acting during it,
Harry
is shit. That's
Harry does. So first off, we think that Ron takes roids. We think that Ron takes steroids. Turns out that was just a placebo. But then Harry
Harry
really does
placeboed him.
take Adderall.
In my opinion, this was Quidditch's best outing because it had
Yeah.
like quick cuts of the keepers like blocking the goal, and then it was
Mhm.
like rock, and they would kick it, and
Yeah,
then
I
Ron
guess.
would hit it with his head.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
because Ron played Quidditch.
That
in
was
this one.
fun.
I forgot
he
about
did.
that.
And he like there was a girl that was obsessed with him,
Oh,
and
yeah.
her name was Lavender, but the real Lavender is Lupin and Tonk's relationship.
Mm.
Am I right, fellas?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
If I
Yeah,
could
so they're like
remember.
randomly you know what I mean? Okay,
Mhm.
the scene where they like set the Weasley's house on fire is really good.
Oh yeah.
When they-
Although-
They're running through the
Everyone's running
corn.
through the weeds.
Yes, it's very good, but
Is
it
it
has your
corn?
least favorite
It's
part of the movie. I think
It
it's wheat.
does. Why the fuck does she tie his shoelace? That was so weird. And I'm not the first one to say it. We all know that they have zero chemistry.
Yeah.
And I've already gone on that I do
One
not
chemistry.
think he needed a
Mhm.
to be in he
Nope.
did not need a love interest, and they should not have gotten together because it just came out of fucking nowhere. But the scene where they're running through the weeds and Bellatrix arsons the Weasley's
Oh,
house
that was crazy.
was really good. And then before the last 30 minutes of the movie, the best part about this movie is Draco and the stuff that he's doing, and I'm glad he finally got more to do. And I really like his character and the scene where he's like going to kill Dumbledore but he can't do it.
Mhm.
Because the choice to like have a sympathetic portrayal of this kid who got in way over his head and doesn't know what he's doing.
Mhm.
But also, I didn't know if this was the one that Dumbledore died. And then I realized that I was like at the beginning of the movie when they were like, oh, if Draco doesn't complete it, you have to promise to complete it, Snape. And I was like, fuck.
Mm.
Snape, because I remember for some reason Dumbledore falling. And
Mhm.
the scene is really good where Snape kills him.
Mhm.
I don't like the water scene.
No. Okay.
I
thought
think
you
it's
would.
funny. I think it's funny when he's like, water.
Yeah, that's the only Kelly. That's the
And
only
I
thing I
think-
I didn't
remember
like
about it
it.
is water. And then he's like, Harry, no, and he's like, drink it, and he like makes him do it anyway. I'm like, oh man.
And I think getting pulled into the water by the like creatures, that looked really good. But the whole thing didn't make sense to me.
Oh,
I just know it was weird. He just had to keep drinking the water. I don't know. Wasn't
it was
into
like
it.
it was like a
But
Horcrux
then,
thing.
but then
You know, it's just thrown in there.
I know.
at the end.
Oh, but then they're setting it up. They're setting up that Sirius had a brother, and I did not know Sirius had a brother. And his name is like
Regulus.
Regulus.
It's not so serious.
Yeah,
No.
it's like
Oh.
it's like Regulus, and like he has the Horcrux or whatever. I don't know. We watched
Or
this
does
so
he? No,
long
he
ago.
hid it somewhere. And
Why didn't he
that-
just destroy it when he found
That
it?
is what part one is about. That's what I told you.
Well,
That's
they
what part one's about.
also said that his Sirius's family was true blood fanatics, but his brother wasn't either.
I think she's making up stuff
Yeah,
a lot of
I
times.
know.
100%.
I know.
But it's fun
I
to
know.
just be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I like that. But like, I like the parallels between Harry and Tom Riddle with the teacher, and
Yes.
the teacher from Paddington,
Yes.
and what's the thing called where you can see memories?
Pensieve.
The pensieve. Okay, yeah, I do like that a lot of the movie was Harry and Dumbledore. I mean, not a lot of the movie, but it was the most Harry and Dumbledore interaction that we got. And I really like that. And I really do like the end, like with everybody putting their wands in the air for Dumbledore. And it is crazy that they killed Dumbledore,
Mhm.
like even before the end. That is crazy. So I liked it. I can't remember a lot. We watched it so long ago, and
That's-
also
I feel like that's
just
the
like
problem with that movie. Is like, I feel like
Yeah.
it blends. It gets like that's like the
It's-
one that just like is the one that's before the 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
And it kind of most of the middle of the movie fades. I forgot about Lavender completely until Luke and I were talking about it. Like
that was
I
weird.
forgot
too.
the middle of the movie and I only remember the end. So
I don't
For
even know
some
who that is.
reason, I really do like Ron and Hermione though. Like,
Mhm.
I just want them to get together. For some
Right.
reason,
Yeah.
I'm super into it, and I think it's because they fucking hated each other's guts at the
Yeah.
beginning, and I'm like, yeah, they should get together now. But one of my favorite parts of all of these movies is Harry and Hermione's friendship.
Yes. Yes.
I love their friendship. Oh, but there was a really weird scene where, like, out of nowhere, Dumbledore. This is funny because I think it was the filmmakers telling directly the audience, "Hey, Harry and Hermione are not gonna get together, so cut it out." Because out of nowhere, Dumbledore was like, "Oh, are you two?" And Harry was like, "No."
Harry's
they
like,
moved
ew.
on.
Yeah.
And they went on to a completely different subject. And so that was weird that it came out of nowhere. But I do like that it's like, hey, that's not going to happen. Because, yeah, guys and girls can be friends, but a bunch of readers, I bet, and people watching it. And Luke was talking about how he was there when the movies were coming out. And so a bunch of people were like that.
All the rage.
Yes.
And
No,
I'm
for
so
sure.
glad they didn't.
So I feel like they're trying to be like, but especially before the 7th one, they're trying to be like, this is non-romantic, because
Yeah.
there's like a
Yeah.
lot of parts of them just being friends, and people could take it a certain way. Like, it doesn't spoil it, but like when they dance, it's like people could be like,
Yes,
oh, it's
exactly,
romantic, but it's
exactly.
just brother sister. It's like brother sister love, and they're trying to be clear before
Yeah.
they get into the 7th one.
And for some reason, people don't understand
No.
friendship.
They don't get it.
That
People
being said,
be
I do
doomed.
want Hermione and Ron to get together.
Yes, yes.
But it's not the same as her and Harry. They have obviously been into each other for movies.
Well, they could have
Actually,
also...
the exact same thing.
Oh, I was gonna say they could
Yes?
have also easily done like love triangle thing where Harry starts feeling stuff for Hermione, and
Yeah, thank God they did.
like that's an easy
Well-
way to fill book pages or movies with that kind of stuff. Each movie being like, oh, now Harry like, and I'm glad that they didn't even
Yeah.
get into that shit.
Yes. What was like? Oh, in both this and Goblet of Fire, though, Harry's just like in the middle of it. Oh my God, it was so funny. They were at like a bar, which I don't know. They were at a
Yeah,
bar. Oh my God, what did Hermione say? It was like so directly,
So
like you
Ginny
could-
was snogging
she's with
Dean.
Dean.
Oh.
They were kissing.
snogging.
And then Hermione was like, "What do you think
yeah.
she would do if she saw us kissing?"
yeah,
And
to
Ron
and
didn't
Ron
get
just
it.
over his head, just blank face. He did not
And
understand.
Harry was not
She,
paying
like,
attention.
The most clear hint. And Ron just didn't get it. And then Harry was off to the side he was literally doing the thing where he goes like, like lifting his hand up to like get the attention of the teacher. It was really funny, and it like perfectly encapsulates their friendship at this time. It was so funny.
I like that scene too because Harry likes Ginny at that point, but he sees them kissing. He doesn't even know. But he also
I
like
don't
there
know.
wasn't even anything like he didn't even care or
Yeah,
basically notice.
Because it's Harry.
He was
It's
like,
Harry.
"Oh."
And I have two things to say.
Yes.
One of them involves Ginny, which is what it reminded me.
Chamber of Secrets.
When she first shows up in Chamber of Secrets, it was so obvious. Katie turned to me and goes,
Yeah.
"Is that Harry's love interest?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes." Also,
Which I guess she was totally different in the books, but whatever.
we'll choose to ignore it, I guess. Nothing against the first Dumbledore. The second Michael Gambon came on screen as Dumbledore and Prisoner of Alcatraz, which is what I always
Yeah.
want to keep calling it. He was electric. The first time he was talking, I was
It's
like,
crazy. I do.
his performance is out of this world.
Yes, I do. I think everybody's performances in the movies are great.
It's just something about the way he's just addressing the school, and it shouldn't be like, I don't know, all the other ones, Dumbledore's kind of just like quiet and so. This one, I was like, I
He's
am
a
like
scene
enraptured with
stealer,
whatever
yeah.
he's gonna say. Yeah.
What was I talking about?
The
I
one,
forget.
one part that I like
Ginny
that I remember
snogging Dean.
was they when they opened the cabinet to find the books, the textbooks, and they both go for like the good one.
Yes.
Yes, that just
Yes.
reminds me of like you guys
Well,
and siblings of like, no, give me that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Give me that shit.
Okay,
That
So,
uh,
the
imprinted on my
textbook,
mind.
Mm-hmm.
the textbook, it's the exact same thing as Tom Riddle's diary.
It is.
Basically, it's like he finds a book.
He tells them all the
Um,
secrets.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. Did Snape give himself the title the
Yes.
Half-Blood Prince?
Correct.
What makes him a Half-Blood Prince? I'm very
Well,
confused.
Lord
And it is so funny to
Voldemort.
me that he gave himself that title.
Lord Voldemort also
Lord
gave
Voldemort?
himself that title.
Was also a
Lord
self-named-
Voldemort.
Yeah.
Voldemort?
Yes.
Doesn't it mean something?
I don't know, but
It's just an anagram.
well, if I
No,
am
but
Lord
it
Voldemort.
means something. Like,
Oh, does it?
yeah.
Oh.
But
Okay.
That's why she chose that name, is because
Oh.
the
Gotcha.
words together mean something.
anyway,
Oh, I see.
But in universe, he was just like, sounds cool.
Doesn't
'cause
mort
he's
mean
half-
death in
Yeah.
Latin?
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Well, he's like, isn't Voldemort's father Muggle-born?
think so.
yeah, and that's why he hates.
I don't know.
them. Is that what's happening?
Because he's Hitler.
What's this?
Because he's
yeah.
Hitler. Yeah.
But okay, but Snape. So, is Snape is one of Snape's parents a wizards, and one of them is a Muggle, and that's super rare, and so
I-
he's a half-blood
yes.
prince.
Yeah.
Why
I
is he a
think-
prince?
Don't
Whatever.
know- I don't know
I
the
mean,
prince
he
part.
is a
Prince,
prince.
but I think I don't know the prince.
Love him, it's
I-
fine. I really, really liked the scene though, where oh my god, so he just killed Dumbledore, right? But it's because he has to, and he's like a double agent, right? I know that. But right now in universe, we're supposed to think, oh my god, he is bad. Anyway, when Harry goes after him and he's like, "Fight back, you coward!"
Mhm.
That was really good.
That's good. Imprinted.
as a kid, them fighting for the book
Mhm.
and fight back,
yeah.
and Snape saying Avada Kedavra imprinted in my head.
Yeah.
Also
That's
water,
Crazy.
but
That was a real. I just
yeah.
remember the
I mean,
lighting
we saw
of
this
the
in
scene
theaters.
of him screaming at Snape. I think because I didn't remember anything else from that movie, but in theaters I remember that because like I was like, holy shit, Dumbledore died, and he's like confronting Snape. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit, what the hell's gonna happen? So like as a kid, even that part was like, oh my
Yes.
god, this is insane. Because I did not expect
Yes,
Dumbledore
I
to die
think
when I watched.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think we saw this movie in a different city. I don't know
We
if you
did.
guys
We did.
remember,
We
but
did.
in my head,
Yep.
yeah,
was
yes,
a baseball
yes,
tournament.
yes. It was a different theater, and it was like,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah. Correct.
crazy.
Also, we
Anyway.
did the same thing with Terminator Genesis.
Apparently,
Whoa, yeah, and Monsters University.
oh my
Hey,
god,
yeah.
you know what?
I
Wait,
remember
wait,
that.
wait. Never mind.
Whoa.
Apparently, there's a French phrase called that. It's
Goodness.
vol de mort, and it
Oh.
means flight of death.
Oh.
Well,
Like
okay.
it's 3 words, and it means flight of
Oh,
death.
yeah. Okay.
Vol de mort. Yeah. Anyway,
It's volar
um,
is light in Spanish. Okay, that makes sense.
what was I gonna say?
Like,
Frustrating. Why can't my brain work? Whatever. What were we?
uh-oh.
Talking about Ginny snogging Dean, and then we moved on from
Oh.
that.
Let's talk
After
about
that.
maybe Lisa
Anyway.
Frankenstein.
Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I think I'm getting. No, I only have 2 Harry Potter movies left, and I'm excited for the rest of them. I just think. Oh, this was what I was gonna say. Was imagine because these movies are so fucking long. Imagine that whole 2.5 hour runtime just dedicated to the stuff that actually matters. How like it
What a
would be
world.
so like it would be so I don't know.
It's 4 movies.
Like it'd be
long.
cool, and it's like that's why they split up the last one into 2 movies because they were given the time. I like them. Okay, so Luke and I watched Little Miss Sunshine, and then I showed him Lisa Frankenstein. Luke, you have to give thoughts because I've already talked about Lisa Frankenstein.
Very good movie.
I knew that was
Mhm.
coming.
It is like Jennifer's Body, apparently.
You haven't seen Jennifer's Body.
I said apparently. I said apparently. I haven't seen
It's
it.
just written by Diablo Cody.
Did
Oh,
she
and-
well then,
write
yeah.
Jennifer's Body?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
knew
why
she
they
wrote
take place in
Juno.
the same universe.
Yeah.
Oh.
yes.
Mm.
So that's why Jennifer's Body gets mentioned.
Yes, because they're both written by Diablo Cody.
But I was wrong. I don't know if it's like it at all.
It's not really at all.
Very good. Catherine Newton, very good. Cole Sprouse does not really say any words throughout the whole movie.
That's the good.
Very
That's the
good.
reason. Yeah.
Very good. He does a really good job. It's like that one movie, Little Miss Sunshine, where Paul Dano
Oh.
doesn't say a lot of words.
Oh.
throughout a lot of it. Very good movie.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Luke, did we do anything else together?
No.
Okay, so now it's stuff that I watched on my own. And I had a rough week. So
Okay.
I was watching a bunch of shit
I'm sorry you had a rough week.
as a distraction. And so I watched this it's on AMC Plus called Queer for Fear, which is like a 4-part docuseries about queer horror.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'd probably be interested in it.
Ooh, yes.
I thought it was really interesting. I honestly thought it could have been longer.
Oh.
Like I felt like there was stuff that they didn't even go into. Like I feel like there could be a season 2 to it.
Nice.
But it was really interesting. There's a whole segment in episode 2 where Oz Perkins talks about his dad, and it made me cry.
Aw.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of people talking it. James Duval showed up for a second, and I was like, what the fuck? Jennifer
What?
Tilly, Don Mancini is in it a
Of
bunch.
course.
Oh, and also Carmen. Okay, so the story Luke was talking about, the woman who wrote the story that is like a GoFundMe
Carmen
page,
Machado.
she's featured heavily in the docuseries, and it was a crazy
Wow.
connection. Like he just happened to read a story. That
That's
was why
wild.
it's
That's
someone who
really
was in that. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other people who showed up, but I would recommend it. I thought it was super interesting.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, on AMC Plus. And then on my own, I watched this movie, this British movie from 1963. This says, but somewhere else it said a different year. Whatever.
Again?
It's not a rare movie. I just don't know. It's called The Servant, and I didn't do this on purpose, and it's actually crazy because I could make a lot of parallels to Ripley in it, and I did not watch it. And I didn't watch it because of that. I just happened to watch it. Look, you know how in Ripley we were like, Marge, is the girlfriend suspicious of him because of
yes.
elitism, homophobia, or is he just a freak? And
Yes.
the answer is all three. That's this
All of the above.
movie.
That's
Also,
secret history, Matt, as well. Secret history.
Yes.
oh my god, yes, it's a secret history. Is it elitism, homophobia, or is he just a freak? And then, oh my god, Luke. Okay, so I just made a
Oh,
list.
that's like Saltburn too. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I just made a list, and I need you to tell me if. Go look at it. I need you to tell me if it's accurate. Because I put The Handmaiden on there, and I need
Okay, hold
it's the gays made class struggles horny again. Does The Handmaiden fit into that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because The Servant, The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Saltburn are all gays making class struggles horny, and so I was wondering if The Handmaiden fit into that.
The Handmaiden is probably the horniest movie I've ever seen.
Are you serious? Watch
Oh my God.
Crash.
Yeah, I know. Crash might top it. This is exactly right.
The gays made class struggles horny again. Okay, and then so the guy in The Servant, the guy who plays The Servant, is Dirk Bogarde, and he is in a movie called Victim, which I watched, which is really good and super interesting. It was made in 1961, and apparently, I don't know if it's the first English language film or if it's the first British film. It's one of those two that used the word homosexual, and it was super revolutionary because it's like it was really good. It was actually like the more sympathetic towards both like queer people and like the wife that got cheated on. Way
Oh,
more
wow.
sympathetic than like modern movies I've seen. And it was like 7 years before, but it is credited as like helping the decriminalization of
Oh, yeah.
homosexuality in Britain. So it's really fucking cool. And there's like it's a really good scene. It's the most famous scene of that movie. The confession scene was written by Dirk Bogarde, and so he's given a writing credit on it because he made
Oh.
so many he added so much to the script that to make it like more it's really cool, and I have a new obsession with Dirk Bogarde.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, he just seems like the coolest guy.
Hell yeah.
And then last night, I watched The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, the
for
Bowie
us.
one.
Yes, from 76, which I think, Matt, you should go and watch.
Oh,
I
I
don't
want
know
to.
if you'll like it, but I just want you to witness with your eyes some of the editing and the choices made in this movie. And I enjoyed it, but like that's not a surprise because I was gonna enjoy anything that he's in, and
No.
but he's so perfect for this role. I mean, it's about an alien who it's about the man who fell to Earth, and if anybody, it's him.
If Bowie's involved, I'm in.
Yes. And he's phenomenal in it, obviously. It's a fun time. I say go watch it.
I'll watch it.
It's so 70s, and it is just wild. But there is some and so it's so fun because it's like a sci-fi movie with like futuristic stuff, but like from the 70s, and so it's like in
Ooh.
the 70s what they thought futuristic stuff would look like.
It's like Rollerball. Have you ever heard of Rollerball?
No, should I watch it?
Yeah, it's got James Caan, and it's set in the future where like the sport is a game called Rollerball. Like that's like the national
Interesting.
sport. It's silly but also fun. Don't watch the remake. Watch the 70s one.
Okay.
There's a remake.
Yeah.
Um, and so there is so much full frontal nudity by everybody in this movie. And I'm not gonna tell you any more about it because I just want you to be surprised by some of the shit that goes down. But I had something else about it, but I completely forgot. Oh yeah, there are like weird ties to like modern like heads of corporation. Like it's weirdly like modern, even though it's got like that futuristic stuff, which is super 70s.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
super interesting. Is that it? Yeah, that's what I watched last night. I think that's it. Sorry, I talked for so long.
You're all good.
Did you read anything?
No.
Uh,
Sorry.
That means it's your turn, Mark. What'd you do?
Let's see. TV. Bluey released a new episode. And we watched it night of.
Nice. Was it good?
Guys, that last second gut punch. This was one of the worst ones yet. I started crying just in the last second.
No.
I was literally fine until the last second that I started crying. It's a mess, and the next episode's gonna destroy me because it was actually setting up for the next episode, which is a 28-minute episode, and then after this they're going on a hiatus, and the show might not be the same after because they're changing some stuff with the show, but that's part of what happened at the. Yeah, I'm a disaster. Watched. What was it? Oh, I finished season 4 of Ghosts, BBC.
Nice.
The Christmas episode at the end of 4 was one of my favorite episodes of the show.
Yeah.
I really liked that one.
That's the play one, right?
Yes, that was so dumb. I love that. And then we watched the first episode of season 5. So we're almost done. What, we got like 5 episodes left. Don't think we watched any originals. We've been slacking. We watched, so movies. I watched Vantage Point. It's like a 2008 someone is trying to kill the president type of thing. Dennis Quaid is in it, but it shows like
House Down.
Oh boy.
Basically.
Dennis Quaid.
but it has like 6 different perspectives of like the same event, so it keeps just starting.
Oh, it's
over
like
from different
Rashomon.
perspectives.
Yes, I was about to say it's Rashomon.
So, the premise was cool. I liked certain parts of it, and I did not like certain parts of it. So it was.
Matthew Fox is in it.
He is.
Yeah, I saw.
Yes.
I saw.
So that was okay, and then we watched Godzilla King of the Monsters because we're gonna watch the Godzilla movies to get up to Godzilla X Kong for when Luke comes up here. But Trini had already seen Godzilla versus Kong. And so it was like, that's all you really need to see. But we're like, should we watch the other ones? And I was like, I don't really know if you'll like 2014 because like I like 2014 more than King of the Monsters, but like Godzilla's in like 8 minutes of it. So it's kind of just like, if you've seen later on, and that's what you care about. And like the Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen plotline, people didn't like anyway. So like, I mean, we'll probably be more bored, but we're like, okay. So I was like, we could start on Skull Island, and I was like, we could just watch King of Monsters, or we could just stay. So it was like we could watch any of them. So we did a spin wheel of all 4, and then it landed on King of the Monsters, which is my least favorite of the 4, of course.
Oh no.
Still is, because that movie is weird.
Do I need to see it before seeing?
No,
Okay.
no. All you need to
You
see
can
is
give me
Godzilla
the
vs.
rundown. Give me the shakedown of it.
Kong.
Mark,
Mothra's
I'm
in
with
it.
you.
Mothra.
Ooh,
The
I
Mothra.
think
Okay.
it's my least favorite too.
Essentially, Vera Farmiga is Millie Bobby Brown's mother, and her dad is Kyle Chandler.
How's it going?
Mark, can you hear us?
Oh no.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Okay. Where did I cut off?
Mothra.
Mothra. Millie Bobby Brown is in it. Vera Farmiga's her mom. Kyle Chandler's her dad.
Oh.
Wait, whoa.
Yes.
Super 8? Kyle
Yes,
Chandler
Super
from
8.
Super 8?
Super 8, yes. He is in Super 8. And she basically, they get kidnapped by evil people and Mothra wakes up, but then they're like trying to release a different beast that's a 3-headed dragon type of beast. But it turns out
a Hydra?
basically. And then it turns out like Vera Farmiga is evil, but her intentions are that she thinks awakening all the Titans will bring balance back to the universe because we are overpopulating. So she basically wants to destroy
it's like-
everything.
So it's like, isn't that Thanos' whole
Yeah,
shtick?
it's and an Attack on Titan type of stuff, you know the mass genocide stuff. And then she has like a redemption arc, which is it's really weird because she's like, oh, I purposely did this, and then she knows people died, and then she's fine, and then when Millie Bobby Brown almost dies, she's like, oh my god, and then it's like, you released this. I'm confused.
Wait. They give the character that tried to commit mass genocide a redemption arc?
Yes.
Cool.
This is where we're at
It's-
with movies.
Yeah, it's really weird how they play it because they're playing it as if like what's really weird about it is that her views are like, we're populating the earth, we are overpopulated, which is all true, but then she's the villain, she's doing bad things about it, so I'm like, I don't know what they were trying to say.
That doesn't mean you can kill people.
Yeah, so it was,
What?
but I also just didn't know what they're trying to portray of like, she's like the villain at one point saying all this stuff, and I'm like, but that stuff is true, just we shouldn't
What
release
stuff that we should kill people?
no, that we're overpopulated and we cause a lot of pollution and shit. Anyway, so that whole shit is weird. But what I think is funny is like people think that Godzilla is like for the humans because basically the first 2 movies Godzilla is like protecting them against other monsters, but Godzilla did not give a fuck about humans other than Kyle Chandler. They made eye contact. He made eye contact with Godzilla, and Godzilla let him live. So he has a thing for
Godzilla
Kyle
said
Chandler.
Oh, they're setting up.
Yeah.
They're setting up.
In Super 8, spoilers
that
for
is-
Super 8,
Super 8.
it's
yes.
Kyle Chandler's son who
Mhm.
does that
Ah,
with the alien.
same thing, yeah.
Do you think Godzilla has seen Super 8 and that's why he was like
Maybe.
starstruck?
I think so.
But then they find out that the 3-headed dragon monster was actually an alien and not from where all the other Titans came from. So it's actually,
Was it like Cloverfield?
I don't know. Yes, it just came from the sky or something, but way back when. So it didn't even come from Middle Earth, which is where all the other Titans came from. But I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. But then essentially what it is all the other monsters go with the alpha, but then this one's destroying everything. So everyone's destroying everything. Then Godzilla's like, he's not trying to protect the humans other than Kyle Chandler. He's just like, yo, I'm top dog. That's what the whole movie is.
I'm the king
Is
of
I'm-
monsters.
Yes, he's literally like, fuck you
Wait, I
for
thought-
taking my place.
I thought Godzilla was a woman.
In the 1999
oh,
version. So, in the...
But that was like, wasn't it the twist? It was like Pennywise. The
yes.
eggs.
So in the eggs, that's
It
the
was.
1999 version, and then in this one, they're saying him the entire movie. In the Japanese ones, they say it. They don't refer to Godzilla as a gender because it's just a
yeah,
monster.
it would
Yeah,
because like, how do you know?
yeah, it's just a
You see
monster.
a big old wiener
Yeah,
pop?
why-
I
why
don't
would
think
it?
so.
But Godzilla.
That also doesn't make you.
That is
yeah.
true.
So
Very
that's-
true.
the,
Interesting that they decided to.
the thing
Where
that
the fuck?
that's the thing I
what
liked
fell.
about the movie. I liked that Godzilla is just like that, but also people think Godzilla is like protecting humans all the time because he made eye contact with Kyle Chandler. But also 2014, he also was destroying everything until the other monster came, and then everyone loved him. I don't know. It's getting weird. So the movie was completely blue. It was like Ozark turned up to 11. Like the entire time it's blue.
Like
Oh, really?
Twilight.
It's
Well,
worse.
because Ozark is so dark that it's like you kind of need a flashlight.
No, I
Like
had a
Prisoner of
flashlight.
Azkaban blue.
No, like, but it's like look at
Prisoner
the
of
poster.
Azkaban's
Look
very
at the
blue.
poster. Look at the poster.
Is it
That's
that
all
The
it
like
movie
the
is
entire
that
thing?
blue.
Think about that,
Is it
and
that
then
blue?
about 70% of the movie is as blue as that.
Oh,
Guys,
no.
do you think that
That's the thing.
Twilight and Harry Potter take place in the same universe?
1000%.
Because I
yes.
do.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I watched
Cedric just happens to look like a vampire.
I was about to say,
Long
wait, what are the
blue.
implications
Yeah.
for Cedric Diggory? Oh, okay, I will say, it's confirmed in The Man Who Fell to Earth that David Bowie is a person.
I like that. I like that a
And
lot.
So, no, because there's a scene in a record store and you can see one of his records.
Yeah.
And so now I'm wondering how nobody, because he is very clearly David Bowie. You cannot mistake that it's David Bowie. So how did nobody? Whatever. I like whatever the implications are.
That's very funny.
Sorry,
La-
Mark.
It's okay. Last night I watched Little Miss Sunshine. That was the last movie I watched. And then for books, I finished On Writing. And then I read This Winter, which is Alice Oseman novella that takes place right before Solitaire. So it's like a prequel to Solitaire. Nick and Charlie was a sequel to all of Heartstopper. So the timeline's insane. But it was like
Yeah.
it was very short. Like I could have done it very quickly because like there's also pages that are just like the pictures that she draws, which I love because she's also just draws the pictures. So she's cool. But I liked it. It was a cute little story to like lead into Solitaire after you know what Heartstopper is because she wrote it after she started Heartstopper. But Solitaire she wrote a different time, so it's kind of like a lead in if you knew who Nick and Charlie were.
That's cool.
So that was cool. And then I started reading My Best Friend's Exorcism. That was this one.
Nice. I've seen that in a Bookman's.
Yes. It's the one by the author that I was interested in, and I was hoping that I'd really like because he has like Final Girl Support Group and Southern Book Clubs
Oh.
Slaying Vampires.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was interested. I'm on page 186, and I do not like it.
Oh,
Very
I'm
much.
sorry.
So yeah, so this author, and honestly, part of it is just the way he writes. So it's definitely not like gonna be an author that I get super into. Part of it's that when his writing I thought got a little bit better, or I adapted to it and got used to it. Stuff in the story happened that I didn't like, and so then I was like, either way, it's interesting enough to finish it for sure. But I was very excited, and I have not been feeling it. So it's very sad.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
wow.
hoping. I like his. I'll say I might. This is his second book that he wrote, and it's like
Okay.
6 years ago, and he just came out with a new one. So maybe I'll try at some point like one of his newer ones because his writing style seems to get better throughout the book. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he does get better, and I like his vibe, but it's just certain plot points, certain way he writes, just does not bode well with me. So
It's okay to just not be into it either.
yeah,
It's
it was
nothing against
disappointing
him.
because I wanted
Yeah.
like his style of books I was like super interested in, so maybe I'll try another one at some
Right.
point, but so far this has not been my jam.
Oh wow.
But that has been it. All right, Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine.
How long have we been talking, Mark?
Oh my god.
An hour 14.
Wow.
Wow,
Sorry.
jeez.
All right, Luke.
Look at us go.
Synopsis.
Ooh.
Not
Ooh,
even
forgot.
prepared.
Luke forgot what we were
You
doing.
had an hour and 14 minutes. Luke, you said this is one of your favorite movies.
It is.
Yes, it's also one of mine.
The synopsis is loading.
So talk.
It's still loading.
So talk
Phil
about
is-
it being one of your favorite movies.
I was gonna get in that after I read the synopsis. It's
Well,
not
we're
worth it.
waiting for the synopsis. Do it off the top of your head.
Off the dome, go.
A family must. A,
A
a
family must.
takes a
I have
cross.
it pulled up. Do you want me to do it?
Matt,
Yes.
read it.
A family determined to get their young daughter into the finals of a beauty pageant take a cross-country trip in their VW bus.
That's yep. That was quicker than the time it took us waiting there.
It's one of my favorite movies, guys.
It's so good.
really good. From the start with the music. Yes,
Had you seen it before? Like
No.
Oh, nice.
this is my first time, and it was really good. The music that starts is the score is called "The Winner Is," and it's hold on.
Oh god.
Oh,
God.
Time to vamp again.
Well, you need to start writing things down so it's like in front of you. You need to. Post it to your-
Devachka and Michael Dana are the people who helped with the music, who did the music for Little Miss Sunshine. And that score is really good. And how it
Mhm.
introduces each character at the beginning is so good. I just, yeah, it is very good. There's a playlist for the solar eclipse.
Oh no. Keep on. Let's focus.
Focus, like-
I feel like you.
You guys can talk more, and I'm better when you guys talk more, and I can like latch onto something and then talk
Okay.
about it. But it was really good, and it's one of my favorites. The acting, the writing, I think it won best screenplay.
Should have if it didn't.
Yeah.
Abigail Breslin got nominated. Alan Arkin, I think,
yeah.
won
That's
for
awesome.
supporting. But Abigail Breslin got nominated. She made me cry.
She made me cry too,
Ooh,
Yeah.
and I've seen
Um,
this movie.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I had mentioned that I had seen this movie for a class many a year ago, and I
Yes.
remember really liking it then. Watching it this time, I loved it. And like I watched it by myself, but later I told Katie, I was like, this is going on the list of movies I want to show you at some point.
Yes.
It made me laugh out loud. It made me tear up more than once, even at like weird times where I was like,
Yeah.
why is this the time? Like, why is this affecting me? It's beautifully written. It's so tightly written as a script. Everything comes back around. The heartfelt moments hit you like a gut punch.
Yep.
What I was planning Richard's murder, the dad. I was
Until-
planning his
until-
murder for the first half of the movie, and
Yeah,
then they like
until the
redeemed it.
pageant.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, the turning point is the
Dan Grossman.
it's not the kidnapping of his father's
Oh my
body.
God.
Okay, wait, actually, that is crazy because Luke and I kept going. Luke went. Luke was like, "I swear to God, if they say Stan Grossman one more time, his full name." So we kept talking about Stan Grossman, and then he shows up, and it's Bryan Cranston with a beard.
Oh.
Dean Norris
Next to
showed
a
up
pool.
Yes.
as
Yeah.
the cop.
And the bereavement counselor was from Barry.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
What was
Yep.
her name in Barry?
Janet.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Yes,
Janice.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Janice.
Janice, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh,
Everyone
That's-
who showed up was somebody we knew from something. It was
Beth
crazy.
Grant, who is Donnie Darko. She
Mm.
was the
Mm-hmm. The pageant.
Mary
yeah.
Lynn.
rat scub.
Yeah.
Rat,
Yeah, we had Gail the Snail in there.
Yeah.
Is that who that
Oh,
is, right?
and
Yeah.
Mel Rodriguez
yes.
was the cop at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
I would. Everybody. It was so good.
He was in something else as a cop too. I feel like whenever he's not, when he
Community.
didn't play Todd, he's in what?
Community. He was a security
Ah,
guard.
you right.
Yeah.
That's
Ah,
what you right. You're right.
Uh,
yes.
And Dean
That's
Norris.
awesome.
Dean Norris and Bryan Cranston were both in X Files. Bryan Cranston was an episode that Vince Gilligan wrote. That's like how
Yeah.
Vince Gilligan thought of
all
him, which is
connects.
interesting.
And this was
but
2
Dean
years
Norris
before
played a
Breaking
cop
Bad, right?
In X Files.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this was like right before both of them doing Breaking Bad too.
And I think
Crazy.
Malcolm was about to end. I think it was in a
Oh.
sixth
When did-
Oh,
season or something.
2007, right?
2007.
Yeah.
Wait,
2007?
2007.
Breaking Bad started
Right?
the year after Malcolm.
So
That's
I think
crazy.
because Malcolm had 7 seasons and it started in 2000.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know it was
Wow.
right after. I
It
know it
might
was
have
the
ended
first
in 2006 then, because isn't it like
Because if
That
the first season
season-
was into, yeah.
Yeah,
like
and
season 1
2006.
ended, and then like 4 months
Dang.
later, season 2 premiered.
Yeah,
Like
2006.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I think that this is like my favorite Steve Carell performance.
Yeah,
oh my
very
god,
good.
he's so hot in this movie. I'm sorry.
Something,
what
yeah,
you're
something so
Yeah, this is what does it for me.
something so magnetic about his sadness.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
No, he's incredible in this movie. Also, his last name. Do you know what his last name in this movie is?
No, I just remember them saying Frank a lot.
It's Ginsburg.
Of course,
Not
it's
subtle.
Ginsburg.
Not subtle.
But did you know he's the #1 Proust scholar in the
Do you
United
know?
States?
I love his performance in this movie. I love
Yeah.
this movie so much.
That part
This is-
where Olive asks, like, what do you think happens after we die? And he like doesn't know what to answer, and then he's like, do you think I'll make it? And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, it's so sweet. Oh,
Oh, this
The
is
music
definitely
in that
going.
scene, too.
This is going into my. It's now top 59, I believe.
I even thought for me, I've never made a top, but I was like, this would go in a top whatever for me
You should
too.
make one, man.
I
You gotta
I-
try it, man.
I gotta try
Gotta-
it.
you gotta
Gotta
do it.
try it.
We got
Peer
Paul
pressure.
Dano just
I know.
reading Nietzsche.
Nietzsche. Ugh.
Yeah.
And
Is it
And then-
Nietzsche? I thought
I
it was
said
No,
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
it's Nietzsche. You're right.
Okay.
That's correct. They could explain. I would love to sit down with Frank and Dwayne and have them
Well-
explain Nietzsche and Proust to me because I've never read either of them.
No,
and I don't know
that
what's
sounds like my
going on.
actual nightmare. I just want to like smoke nothing. Smoke a very legal substance with them. That's what I want.
Smoke water.
Okay, yeah.
Water. What?
Sitting down with a man and having him talk about Nietzsche, that
Oh.
actually is my hell.
What? what
That's
if
my
you
hell.
What if you sat next to a man who hasn't spoken in 9 months and he just reads Nietzsche silently?
Oh my god. If
What
it's
did-
Paul Dano though, I mean
What did his shirt say? It was Jesus is.
It said Jesus was wrong. I love how
Oh, it
angsty-
was Mark. I had to look it up because I couldn't read the bottom word,
Yeah.
and so it was Jesus was wrong.
oh my
Was
god.
it There Will Be Blood the year after
I
this?
believe so, yes.
How
Right?
crazy
Okay,
is
yeah.
that?
To have him not speak and then the first word just be loudly screaming "fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Mm.
crazy scene.
Well, it
And-
didn't click in my head at first when it was like you're
colorblind?
colorblind. I was like, oh,
Ugh.
he's just
Um,
colorblind. And then but when he said that means you can't fly, I was like, oh shit.
When
And then
I
him freaking out in the car.
when I rewatched it, I think the first thing that Richard says to him is to be quiet because he's making noise with the cabinets and Richard's on the phone. It's just
Wow.
interesting that the first thing
Yeah.
Richard says to him is shush, even though he doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk.
It's just-
yeah.
Wow.
I think
That's
my favorite scene is when Olive hugs him basically,
Oh,
Yeah.
and
that
then
was
that's when he
so good.
convinces
That
him
made
to
me
come back.
cry.
And doesn't say anything.
Because
and then
no
he's
words
like, okay.
was the best way to
Yeah.
The first part that made me cry was when she was talking with her grandpa, and she's
Oh,
like,
no,
"I
that's
don't
the
want to
part.
be a
That's,
loser."
that's the part that
Oh.
makes me
Yeah.
nope.
Oh my god. That's crazy. She was what, 10 in this movie?
Probably 2.
She's probably
that's
She was like
even
2
more
years
accurate.
old in this movie. She's making me cry.
Well, it made me want to watch
God, I-
Zombie Land too because
Yeah.
she was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, also because we talked about Zombieland to see how it
We
held
did.
up, so I was like, okay, now I gotta watch it.
Well, I
gotta
haven't
do
seen.
it.
I was talking about Zombieland because I
God,
haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
It's basically
No.
the prequel to, or it would
It's
be
your
the sequel.
4 favorite people. 4 of your favorite people.
Yeah, it's like 4 of my favorite actors.
It's basically the sequel to Now You See Me, Woody Harrelson and
Oh,
Jesse
basically.
Eisenberg.
And the
Basically.
prequel, more importantly, the prequel to Now You See Me Too.
Prequel to Now You
More-
See Me
more
2, and then the
Well-
sequel to that is Double Tap.
So
Yes.
we all know that I've gotten worse as a person as I got older.
Yes.
That's a good
And what I like. So as a kid, I was like, "That's not funny that they killed Bill Murray," and now I think that's hilarious.
That's very funny.
And so, yeah, I want to watch
I was
that.
gonna say that's like right up your alley.
I can't believe I
thought
hadn't
would
seen
be
it. Yeah,
funny.
Right.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it was like as a kid, I was like, I don't like Nick Miller in New Girl, and then I grew up to be Nick Miller in New Girl,
Yeah, that's
Mm.
interesting.
and I was
That's
like, I am
interesting.
him, and now he's my fave.
Do you remember when they were like talking about credit scores and it, like like that he couldn't even get a phone because they're like, I didn't know a credit score could go this low. That's all I remember about Nick.
I love Nick. That's all you remember about Nick Miller.
Basically.
What a guy.
What a
That's all
guy.
you need to know about him.
Something that I don't like in movies sometimes is when people, well, speaking of Godzilla, that like the redemption arcs happen when like it's not deserved, and it happens a lot where they make someone irredeemable essentially in my eyes, and then the wrap up of how they change is not enough for me, where I'm like, I still hate this person. I feel like Richard not apologizing and getting on the stage and dancing with her was the perfect way to do it, because it is not like anyone has to say I forgive you. It's not like he's apologizing. He has to say words and talk his way out of it. He just goes up and supports his daughter, and I'm like, oh shit, that was the one way that he could have redeemed himself in my eyes. I didn't know it until he did it, but I was like, holy shit.
And when he's watching the pageant, and
it's so funny.
He's like, and then sometimes he's like,
there are so it cuts back to him so many times looking just bewildered. Well, because everybody in this movie, because the writing is so good, everybody in this movie feels very realistic, even when it's like Dwayne doesn't speak for most of it, and he's like this guy, he's this teenager who reads Nietzsche and is always doing push-ups for some reason, but he
He's
still
training for the Air
feels
Force.
realistic. But it's because but Richard felt like a very realistic asshole. You know, where it's like he could be redeemed, and that was the way that he had to do it.
And
God, if I had to hear about the 9 steps one more time, I'm gonna
Or
fucking
stand for
scream. Yeah.
he's in Scottsdale.
It like physically pained me. It just made me so like. There are aspects of this movie that just like make me ache about like girlhood, the ice cream scene. And then but then the rest of but the rest of them like starting to eat it and being like, this is so good, you're gonna miss out on it. But then her talking to the pageant winner of wherever it was and asking her if she ate ice cream, man, it like physically hurt. I was like, I'm gonna
Also,
fucking
did you guys
this is
see
gonna break me.
that the winner, Miss I don't know what she, Miss Little Miss Sunshine from
California.
previous
Was it Texas?
California or something? She,
California,
she was enjoying the last scene, like when the she was
Yes,
smiling.
she was
throughout
one of
the
her
entire last
supporters.
one, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so she was cool.
Well, okay, so here I want. Okay, I'm gonna pose this question: do you think that being the grandpa? What was the grandpa's name? Alan
Who
Arkin.
knows?
What was his name?
Edwin.
Edwin. Do we think that that was genuine because of who he is? That was genuinely the only kind of dance that he knew.
That's what I
Or
thought.
was he doing? Wait! I almost like it better if he was genuinely doing it as a big fuck you to the pageant.
No, because I think
It
he
may
wanted
have
her to
been.
win.
'Cause
I
like
think he
both.
wanted her to win. So in my eyes,
Yeah,
he wouldn't want her to
I
lose
think it was
because of
just
her
But-
saying that. And
No,
so,
I'm not saying that he wanted her to lose. I'm saying that because child pageants are child abuse.
They
So
suck.
him doing that is
Right.
like just a big fuck you.
right, but
Right,
no
so
matter
I
what,
like
she would lose
both.
doing that. Like, and if he knew that because of big fuck you, I don't think he would have made her do it. So then I feel
But
like that
I
was just
think-
genuinely what he. That's the only dance moves he knew.
I think it's funnier that way, but I almost think it adds an extra layer if he did it on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
totally.
he doesn't want her to lose, but he also knows that she doesn't need to win for
Yeah.
it to mean something.
You know what does mean something is the way that Paul Dano was dancing on that stage.
Yeah, he was in
Yes.
the center of the circle.
So
Not all of it.
when
Why was he in the middle?
that's what I was just saying. Why was he in the middle, not Holland? So funny.
There was I was trying to remember. There's one line that happens when they're talking on the pier, Frank and Dwayne. That felt almost like it was improvised. Like Steve Carell, he gave him shit about something. God, I don't remember what it was, but it was Paul Dano's reaction to it felt like it was like a real comment, and it was very funny.
I
He
think
said
he said you're
something-
not as stupid as you look or something.
That's what it was. He's like, you're not as stupid as you look. And it was like, that felt like just the way that he reacted felt like he wasn't like expecting that. That or Paul Dano's an amazing actor because he is.
Well, we know
but
that,
It felt
yeah.
really real. Yeah.
I never knew I needed depressed Steve Carell and depressed Paul Dano. Is it Dano or Dano? Do you know?
I think it's actually
Oh, I
Dano.
know.
Dano.
Yeah.
Anyway, I never knew I needed them on a pier being depressed, talking together, but I very much did. It
great.
very much healed a part of me seeing that.
Just the way they treat Frank at the beginning about just like nobody can leave your side, and then he's sitting at the table and he's just like with Dwayne. He's like, you have to live with this. Is this what it's
Yeah.
like?
Well, the scene in Night 2 where he writes on the notepad, like, and I think it was because when we first meet Dwayne, we don't know what to make of him.
Yeah.
Because he was so funny when the camera panned to a giant thing of Nietzsche in his room. And so we don't know, and he like doesn't speak, but when he shows him the notepad that just says, please don't kill yourself, but like it felt genuine to me.
Yeah, it was genuine. Like, please don't. Yeah.
And their connection, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
And like Frank just being like, I wouldn't do that to you, bud. Like,
Yeah.
God.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The writing's
This is
so good.
This is something kind of sad, but what I kind of was
Mm.
thinking about was when they're pushing the bus at the beginning, right? Olive
Yeah.
needs
I thought
Grandpa's
about that
help
too.
to get
I
in the
thought
car,
about that too.
and then at
Yep.
the end, he's not in that seat to help her,
She
but she still
doesn't
makes
need-
it in there on her own.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought about
man.
that too while watching it.
That's some
She doesn't
good
need
stuff.
his help this time.
They owe so much money in damages.
Oh, they commit multiple felonies.
So many felonies. Oh man.
There was something that
Mark-
Richard
Yeah.
said in the beginning. I can't remember what it was though. I was trying to think of it, but I'm definitely gonna have to come back to it.
Mark, I fully 100% agree with your review where you said Tony Collette dinner scenes make your tummy hurt.
Yeah. As
'Cause
soon as
it-
they were setting the table, I was like, oh god. Like I just anytime she's eating dinner at a dinner table, like I immediately flash back to Hereditary. And then of
Oh,
course
boy.
it went wrong in a very different way in this one. But I just feel like her dinner scenes are so good and she's such a good actress that it always makes my tummy
Tony
hurt.
Collette is the
Yeah, Toni
perfect
Collette
mom.
is chef's
Yeah.
kiss.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The worst dinner scene I have ever seen is in Breaking Bad.
Which
the
one?
Peas? The peas?
The peas.
Is that is it peas?
Season 5.
He's talking about?
And
Jesse at the table?
That's
Jesse,
crazy.
Tyler, and Walt.
That one's
Terrible.
worse than
Just
Hereditary.
terrible. Just terrible. You know, so I can't
Wait,
remember
wait, I
Hereditary
have a
dinner scene, even though that's one of
Is
my
that
favorite horror
not-
movies.
Well, I
They
haven't
were
even seen that
screaming at
movie,
each
but
other.
is it I Am Your Mother?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I
am Your
haven't
Mother,
seen it,
yeah.
and
that
I
was
know
a
it.
good scene.
You
That was a
did
good
that
scene.
scene.
We
Yeah.
didn't know it was
Do
a-
you
it's-
remember when the cup moves and it's a continuous shot,
No,
on
That's a
the
good
table?
scene.
don't
That's a good
remember.
scene.
and then it like zooms in on her reacting, but like because it's a continuous shot, it makes it was really good.
I need
Yes,
to
it
rewatch it.
was.
That one scene fucked me up too much, and that's I only remember that Tony Collette yelling at the dinner scene, the fire in the
Ooh,
house.
so good, so good, so
I
good.
remember
so
Ooh,
good.
the person on
fire.
fire in the house, and then I remember him hitting
So
his head
good.
on the
Yes.
desk
Oh God,
and
that was
screaming,
rough.
and then I remember the ending in the treehouse.
So good, good
those,
stuff.
Those are the only things
Good
I
stuff.
remember from that movie. I don't remember the in betweens. Oh, I remember actually him when he's in bed and then he hears the noise that his sister makes. I remember that. That was
Oh,
scary.
do you remember
Yep.
when his? Oh, actually, it's that same scene. I think Tony Collette's just standing over him.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I had this weird connection with things that I watched. So when Dwayne is crossing off, how many days until he can like go to flight school or whatever, it was 473. And then
Yes.
I was watching Broadchurch today, or the
Yes.
other day, and Paul, the Reverend Father,
Yes.
said that he had been sober
there's
for
a priest?
473 days,
Whoa, no way, really?
which was weird. I was like, wow.
Really?
Yeah, he said he hadn't had a drink in 473 days.
Ooh.
Isn't that interesting?
Ooh. Interesting.
So weird.
That's cool. That's a cool
Yeah.
little coinkadink. Interesting.
If I were a superstitious man, I'd say it means something.
Hey.
I think you're saying that right now.
Maybe.
I have 7 movies in my list of dinner scenes that last an eternity.
Is this one of
And
them?
they are Texas Chainsaw,
Mhm.
No.
Hereditary.
Lemon Sunshine didn't last an eternity. Did it?
It,
It's, uh,
no,
it
it
does
was
feel
over
like
The
quicker than the other
awkwardness
ones.
made
These
me
ones-
feel it.
These
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
feel like it. Okay, these
Sorry.
ones feel
I
like
would
it.
say Little Miss Sunshine depends on the person, but it could
Yeah.
be on that list
Yeah,
because
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
of course.
It 1990, The Curse of Chucky, or
Yeah.
sorry, just Curse of Chucky, Clue, The Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Oh yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses,
Mm-hmm.
and Shrek 2.
Oh
Shrek 2
yeah,
is
where
the
they're like
longest.
ripping apart. Yeah, the food. Shit's flying across the table. That's a funny scene.
That
Is
made
good,
me-
Shrek
good.
that
2
gave
one
me
of the best movies ever made?
Yes.
Shrek 2, that scene made me my tummy hurt as a kid, like on a much smaller scale, but like it still
Yeah,
made
you're
me
like,
hurt. Just like this movie, just like
I-
Hereditary.
I now understand why my screenwriting teacher played Little Miss Sunshine for us and was like, pay attention. I get it now.
The details, it just feels it feels so like when something feels so real that it
Mhm.
kind of hurts.
It's
You're
so
like,
real
"Ow."
that it hurts, yet all of the things connect together so well for the
Yeah.
movie that it's like somehow they wove those two things together seamlessly.
I also think just like basics of writing too, especially if you have a road trip, it especially works with the 3 acts because you have
Yeah.
the setup, the journey, and then the confrontation whenever they get
Also,
to the
when
place.
something goes wrong,
Yep.
yeah.
And
yeah.
like establishing the super objective is get to the pageant.
Yeah.
That's achieved, but winning the pageant isn't. But it
She
was
doesn't. It's better to
need to-
not win
yeah.
the pageant
I-
and
so I-
have everybody.
yeah. I
And-
think it's a great. Hello, Trini.
Hi,
Trini.
She says hi.
I agree, Luke, because I remember them going over like, and not all movies have to hit certain beats, but they say like, like
Yeah.
at the midpoint there needs to be a shift, and the midpoint of the movie is when Grandpa dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That
it
was
hits all the
crazy.
beats perfectly. I
I
had
didn't
forgotten about
know.
that, and then as soon as he went into the bathroom to do his heroin, I was like, oh no, I
I-
forgot.
So I didn't know anything about this movie. All I knew was the basic plot was that family road trip. So Abigail Breslin can be in a pageant, and for some reason I knew what the opening shot was.
Oh,
Which is a really good open. And for some reason, ever since I watched this movie, I've been paying attention to like every movie I watch opening shot. I don't know why. Because
Nate,
What's your
it's
favorite
It's,
opening shot?
I don't know. I can't remember.
What's your
but
favorite
I
opening
remember
shot,
this
like?
one.
Mine,
Yeah.
Hot Rod.
Yes. Nice.
Mm.
Nice.
And you know what? That's similar to this one.
Mm.
Cause it's her. Cause I remember the opening shot of this one is just her staring at the TV. Like it's right.
Yeah.
It's just her glasses, staring
Ah,
at the TV. So that's all I knew about this movie. So I did not know anything else, and I was not. I wasn't expecting the grandpa to die. Honestly, like we see
I-
him doing heroin the first time we see him, and for some reason I was like, he's not gonna die. I do love his leather vest.
They also,
Hell yeah.
I like the way they play it because it's very realistic. Of like it just happens, and it's like
Yeah.
because they were
Well-
setting up stuff with. I feel like they purposely were setting up like his relationship was growing with Frank, and like
Yep.
it could get better with Richard. Like they were purposely setting this stuff up, and then it just happens at like the worst of times. But that's like
Yeah.
realistic. So I like that they did that,
Like-
even though it sucked.
Yeah.
The last thing we see of him before we die is his conversation with Olive, that she was the most beautiful girl in the world,
Mm.
and oh man,
And then Olive is the
really
one who
good.
found him. And
that's when as soon as she was waking up her parents, I was like, oh my god, I was like, no way,
I
and then
know.
they did it.
Also,
It was hilarious though,
I
and
feel like-
they
They took
took his body out the window, and they stole his body.
that gave me so much
And they,
anxiety.
I was like, no way they're pulling a vacation. And then they did. They stole his
so
body.
funny.
Nothing more bonding.
I feel like they played her finding or waking up her parents well, because to me it made it seem like they were late, and so like because the sun was
Mm.
shining and he got home
Ooh.
late, so to me I thought
Mm.
she was just waking him up, being like, it's
Yeah.
like we're waiting on you, and he had overslept
Yeah.
because he went to go visit. So I did not expect it at all, and I was like, oh, she's just waking him up, and he was late, like a normal road trip movie would be like.
And then
And I
she
was like,
says
"Holy
that Grandpa
shit."
won't wake
Yeah.
up.
And then
Well, and then they have the scene in the doctor's office, and I feel like in a lot of other like
Yes.
comedy movies, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna be okay. It's just a
Yep.
scare. It's like, no, he
Straight up
died.
dead.
Yeah. Like, wow.
oh, one of the funniest parts
and
to
they
me.
oh yes.
One of the funniest parts was when the doctor gave him the notes, and then was it Nancy or whatever when he like
Linda.
Linda. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was so sad. I didn't know, like, I didn't laugh, but I did.
Me
Like, it was just like a weak laugh, but it was really funny because I was so sad, but also like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck was that? That was so funny.
This movie balances its comedy and drama so well.
That was so, like, and it took so long for him to like walk over there with the way they played it. So I
Yeah.
really thought he was gone.
Yep.
Linda! So crazy.
Yeah, that was very funny.
That scene also sets up where
The
Olive is the
colorblind.
colorblind test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
This-
oh,
ooh.
'Cause she,
Yes.
do you want to take an eye test? And they
Mm-mm.
don't. Yeah.
yeah, because rewatching, she's about to put him back into the thing,
Mhm.
into the rack, but then Cheryl says, "Come over here real quick. I need to talk to you." And so then she just takes it by chance.
And
Oh man, when he go hug mom.
yep, and then she hugs
Ah.
him later in the movie
Mhm.
with that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
I
That-
need her red cowboy boots.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I need her red cowboy boots.
At the end, when she was like, "I dedicate this to my grandpa who taught me these moves." Sad. Just absolute heartbreak. And then,
But it was funny.
and then he's in the
That was
trunk of
the
my
moves.
car. Trunk of our
We-
car.
We laughed so hard at the beginning of the movie, though, when Grandpa was like, "No, I have to go. I taught her those moves." And then it comes back to her being like, "My grandpa who taught me these moves. Where is he now? In the trunk of our car." And then those are the moves.
I like, what's his name? Like Kirby, the guy who like actually
Yeah.
let them sign up, and then
Oh,
like he was
yeah.
just like, yeah, I
He's
hate
cool
these
as
people.
hell.
Yeah.
Well, because they also set it up because he's like, "I need your music," and she gives it
Oh,
to
yeah.
him, and he's
And
like, "Did you pick this or did you pick this out?" And he was like, "My grandpa, wait, or did whatever."
yeah.
But
It's
it
like,
sets
oh,
up
what is
what's
this gonna
going to
be?
I
Yeah.
really liked that conversation because he felt like he was just, unlike the other people who could be
Yeah.
creepy, he was just genuinely like talking to a kid, like trying to make her feel like,
Yeah.
did you pick this out? What track is? And I felt like it was very short, but I really liked the way he was talking to her, unlike other people. So, yeah.
I loved when Dwayne was walking back there, and they're like, "Are you supposed to be here?" And he said, "No," and just kept going.
Yeah.
And he yelled at what did he yell at the kid? That was funny. Like who
He was
asked?
like, "Hey, where?" Just like
No, I thought
asking it.
she also asked it because the little kid also was like, "You're
Oh.
not supposed to be back here."
Yeah.
And then he said something to her, but I
Oh,
can't
what
remember.
did
But
he
it was
say?
very funny.
How about when
What was it?
Dwayne and Frank were like, "We should probably get in there," and then they went in there for 1 second, and they came out of it like out
They're
of
like,
breath.
"Oh
They were like,
shit!" Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like
Oh.
Richard's revelation that he was the only one watching, and he was the one
Yeah.
who made
Yeah.
this all happen basically, and he had to like watch it being like, this sucks, and like all this happened, and it's awful like what he's watching, and he like didn't realize what he had done. So I really like not having to like him have that conversation, I guess, like what I said before, but his reactions in the audience are like, you traveled 700 miles, they talked about how important this was, and then you could visibly see him being like, oh, this is like not good. What
Right.
Right.
I love that.
Because then, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say I love that they're all protective of Olive, but like they still are like, let her go on because this is what she loves and what she wants. You know.
But yeah, because he by the end prioritize going up there and dancing with her over winning, which is what he's been talking about. That's
Mhm.
also, this movie is filled with my worst nightmares. Men talking about the 9 steps of winning. Men talking about Nietzsche. Proust. I would take that over the other two. I definitely take that over the other two.
I loved the way that Steve Carell ran into there to try to get there before signups closed. The way he was just like, he was like running like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
with
it
his
was
arms.
Oh, and this was
It was-
2006, and I really liked that not that the year matters. I know we talked about that last week, but I liked that he was gay, and they did not make a big deal out of it. And
Oh, yeah.
like it was just, and
Yeah.
she's a little kid who like hasn't like met a gay person before, and she's just like, oh, that's silly. And he's like, it is silly, and like just the way that's
Yeah.
all they talked about it essentially. Except Grandpa made a few comments. He dropped the F slur.
he dropped an
Um,
F. Yeah.
Yes! Yes, we
But-
got one.
But I liked that it was just like a part of his character, and that wasn't all he was. Like it was
No,
just
yeah.
his
It
was
backstory. That's
Very
all it was.
casually. Yeah.
That's who he was. So I really.
It was very casually, and what I really liked is that he wasn't like he's a tragic gay character just because he is gay. It wasn't being gay is what made him tragic.
Yeah.
Right.
His ex could have been a woman, and it would have been the same story.
It would have.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't
Yes.
this guy, because there's so many where it's this guy tormented by being gay, and that's so many stories where it's like, no, it's so casually a part of his character. I really liked.
Mark,
I al-
what gave you more anxiety? The chicken dinner scene at the beginning or the scene in the convenience store with the
Ugh.
magazine?
Oh, the convenience. The convenience.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God.
That one was like,
That was crazy.
Ugh.
I do love that the magazines came back later. Like
Yes, and
everything
it
comes
actually
back.
stayed
That's how
them.
you get
Yeah.
out. I did think it was so funny that
That was the dumbest.
Richard gets
scene.
asked. Richard gets asked to get out of the car, and Dean Norris is just moving a little bit towards the back. And he just goes, "Don't, don't."
It's legal.
Like Richard.
What?
So
It's legal.
suspicious.
Oh, he said it's
Uh,
not illegal.
Yeah, but that's how we
right?
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
It's
illegal.
not illegal.
That's how we know how to get out of getting a ticket. We know now,
Also,
guys.
Yes,
there's
and
something
we
very
have known that.
obviously behind the sheet that's right in front of him, but
Yeah,
he's so
no,
horny
very clearly
that
a
he
body.
can't see past the magazine in front of him.
distracted by the porn.
Yes.
Distracted by the warning. Yeah.
I going back to like Frank when they're like that is silly. I loved the way that they like revealed like everything going on with this character because it was like he's like, oh, that's why you killed yourself. Well, no, actually, it's that I fell in love with a grad student. Oh, and that's why you. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's because I got fired. Like it just kept piling on.
Yeah.
It was like
Well-
this is a fun way to reveal all of these things about him.
And at the beginning, because he was like a lot of reasons, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And I
like
do
that-
really like the dinner scene because it's like Richard being Richard at the beginning of the movie. When
Yeah.
he's like, I don't think that this is appropriate. But like I thought that
Yeah.
their conversations felt very real. And also
Mhm.
Cheryl being like, she's gonna find out anyway. Like,
Yeah.
let's just tell her the truth.
I was
and
on
then it
Cheryl's
this-
side.
Absolutely. And then it's
Yeah.
just it's this kid and her uncle just like having a conversation there is really good.
That's what I
It
was
was
gonna
great.
say is that because that's not typical, especially in movies, to have kids like just hear the truth. They usually like cover them up. So I really like that because it's also like
Right.
I feel like more people are doing that nowadays. Just being like more honest with their kids, at least from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But like they are just trying to be more like open about certain stuff from an earlier age, which is great. And this was almost 20 years ago. This was 18 years ago.
It's not
That's
20 years ago,
crazy.
just really but it's like yeah, and all of like it's just she's a curious kid and
Yeah.
like you approach it in a gentle way but the truthful honest way and,
And
it was fine.
She was
And it-
fine after.
Yeah,
she just
she
knew the
just-
truth.
It was like yeah.
You guys have a favorite character
Mm.
or a favorite scene?
I like.
Ooh.
Oh man, that's a really hard question because this movie's so good.
This is tough because like it kind of just is in like snapshots of some of my favorite moments. Like the first one that like really hit hard, I think, was the diner scene with the ice cream, where
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
oh man.
Yeah.
And then it's like when Grandpa's talking to her when she's like, I don't want to be a loser, and then when Dwayne finds out he's colorblind, and then Olive
Yeah.
hugs him, like.
Yeah.
there's a lot of I can't like say I like one better than the other. It's like all of those put together.
Yeah.
And it's their interactions. It's like I love
Yeah.
Frank, but I also love Dwayne and I love Cheryl and
Mhm.
Edwin is there and he's funny. And Olive is great and Richard sucks up until the
Redeems
end.
himself.
He
Yeah,
redeems
that's
himself.
a big part. Do you
Yeah, no.
notice his name is Richard Hoover? Dick Hoover? They might as well have named him Cocksucker. Dick Hoover.
Sorry, it didn't click for a second.
Luke,
Yeah.
my favorite
Luke's confused.
my favorite character is Dwayne.
Okay.
But I love his relationship with Frank.
Okay.
I really like that both of them
I-
just fucking hate being there in the beginning. And
Yes.
for
I was-
different reasons, but yeah.
I was gonna say that I like that Dwayne's passes his notes to Frank. That's
Yeah.
his first
Yeah.
he
person
gets
to
to
do
Frank,
it too.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
I also
Um,
just love everybody's relationship with Olive, though.
Yes,
Well,
Olive is
yeah, 'cause
my
That's
one of my favorites.
the whole movie. That's yeah.
The
that's-
uniting force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Dwayne is like, I hate everyone in this family, and he even underlines everyone. But you can tell he loves Olive. Like he'll do
Yeah,
anything for her. You know.
When she
Ugh.
said when he said you guys are all losers, he didn't single out Olive.
He didn't say
said
anything about her.
force.
Yeah.
Oh man,
My
that
favorite
seems really good.
scene- Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It's just
gonna-
the
So sorry. It's happening. Kelly's gonna freak out.
it's happening again.
Or is it Luke? It's Luke that freaks out at this.
Yeah, it's me.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
We're good.
Okay. It was the Olive crying about the losing,
Yeah.
And
that's
then-
so high up there. with
and
me,
then
yes.
it was Dwayne finding out who's colorblind and freaking out in the car because it's like
That was
I feel like
crazy.
we've all been there where you start
Yes.
having like a panic attack and you just need to like freak out and you cannot be in that environment. And like the
Yeah.
way he's
Yeah.
like kicking it, it's like that's not even a door. He's not trying to get out. He just is like freaking out. It's like
him
oh, that's
running
real.
down that hill.
yeah, and then just
And
the
then
way
he's
he's
starting to
like
scream.
well, because Paul Dano's such a good actor too. So then it's like
I
the
know.
way he's like screaming at them. It's like oh, and then it could have easily been Richard like yelling back at him, and Richard didn't. He actually let him just freak out for a second, which was good that he didn't just start like getting pissed off. So
Yeah.
Was it Richard? I think it was because Cheryl tried to talk to him, and
Mhm.
then that's when he started singling him out. And it was Richard who told Olive
Yep.
to just go down there,
Mhm.
and all she did was hug him.
I love Dwayne on his way back up, like immediately, like 2 minutes later is like, I didn't mean that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like I just it's so
He's
good.
Such a 15-year-old.
I
It is like
know.
that's exactly what it felt like to be a 15-year-old.
Yeah. I know.
Also, I just love anytime they're pushing the car, and that I don't know why.
Yeah.
I know that's the poster, but
It-
it's a very unique way to have them like bond when they're just trying to
Yeah.
get a car moving, and they got better at it. And all like you guys said, Olive didn't need Grandpa to get in anymore, but like they also just got way better at it as a unit, which is a cool way to
Yes.
just show them bonding
Mhm.
because like they had
Yes.
no idea what the fuck they're doing. I also love the scene where the mom, I can't remember her name, I'm sorry, but
Cheryl.
Cheryl, when she is trying to drive the car and get it into
Oh,
gear
yeah.
and she can't, and then he's being I'm cutting out. Sorry, am I back?
No,
You're
you're
good.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're back.
And he's being asshole man of like, oh, the woman doesn't know what she's doing. You got to do this. You got to do this.
With the
And then the
car.
car's just fucking broken and he can't do it.
Yeah,
It's just like
I
I
was
love.
thinking. I was thinking about that too because it actually pissed me off at first when it showed up, and I was like, "Oh, she can't get the car started." And then immediately it cut to him not being able to get it started either, and I was like, "Okay, you've charmed me again."
And, yeah, and then Cheryl says the same thing to him. She goes, "Hey, why
Yeah.
don't you push it in harder?" Like,
Love
oh.
it. Everyone did such a good job in this movie.
I can't believe they forgot Olive at the gas
I
station.
knew it. Well,
And then
As
she
And-
didn't even care. She didn't say
No,
a
it
single
wasn't
thing
a
about it.
No.
and also
And
they couldn't
Dwayne
stop.
noted.
And so they're
Yeah.
like, "You got." As soon as they stopped the car at a gas station, I was like, "They're gonna leave somebody." I was like, "It's
Right.
probably gonna be Olive." And then she's like, "I'm gonna go practice my dance moves over there." I was like,
And
"They're
you're like,
gonna leave Olive."
Do you think the door was supposed to fall off?
They also
don't
just
know,
put the
'cause
zip
it's
pack
so
on
weird.
so
Yeah.
easy.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Because you can also see Steve look at it when he gets
Yeah.
out. I don't know if it was supposed to fall
First
off.
of-
Yeah,
Either it was an incredible accident, or I mean, we all know Steve Carell is just an incredible actor
yeah,
too,
that
so it
too.
looked so genuine.
but after the competition, they're just like, they're fixed, and I was like,
Yeah.
how?
Yep.
That's what
That's
makes me think
true,
it
so
happened
maybe it
by
was an
accident.
accident.
I don't know. I don't know though.
I like that they
It's good.
didn't say like game plan. I don't. This is little, but I like that they didn't game plan that Frank was gonna go run and tell them. Like he just did it. Like he just
He
waited.
just-
Yeah,
Right.
right.
He like just knew that he had to go tell them quickly, so he was just like the first one out of the
Whoa.
car to make it there.
Is that
Yeah.
the first time he's left alone? No, it's the convenience store. Never mind. It's the convenience store.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, someone went inside with
Yeah.
him, right? They. Oh no, did they not?
No,
No, it was
don't
just
that's
know.
an unfortunate coincidence for the
Oh,
last,
time
for the first time he's
yeah.
left alone after that to that happen.
I
Was
know.
Cheryl, I think Cheryl went to the bathroom because Cheryl
Oh,
walked.
she
that
did.
way.
That's why I
Oh,
they thought she
yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
place. So yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
I also love when they're like trying to get to the hotel and the road's taking them the wrong way and they're all freaking out.
Yes.
Because I've been there many times where I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to get there. It's so close. I can't.
I felt really connected to like every scene in the car too because well first of all they really had Abigail Breslin listening to music while
Oh,
Alan
yeah.
Arkin was saying a bunch of crazy shit. But I felt really connected every time they were in the car because we went on so many road trips for like games and everything,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was always the youngest, and I have been in that experience being small in the car when we like pass where we're supposed to be. It's like you have to turn. Why did you go past it? Where it's like you physically can't, but being like go past it. I love it.
You're triggering some memories. Yeah.
Of Harry Face
You-
Prank.
Did you guys?
Oh, Harry
Do you
Face.
think they did Harry Face
We got
Prank?
in
Do
trouble
you
for
think
that.
Dwayne and Frank did Harry Face Prank?
Yeah, one
Yes.
more,
you know.
Yep. It was after that scene. All Dwayne wanted to do was Harry Face prank.
Harry
Can't
Face
get
Prank.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Or Jolly Rancher hockey.
Jolly
Yes,
Rancher
that
hockey.
one was
That's a
even
special occasion.
honestly that one was even dumber because that was just us being loud.
It was later at night too, so we should have.
Yeah, whatever.
Do,
Look,
do
I
we
think that
have a
one's
name
funnier
for the
'cause-
time we got?
Sorry. I
The
was-
Goldfinch separate piece debacle.
Yeah, that was a debacle for
Hmm?
sure.
The Goldfinch what?
There was one time that Luke and I were in the back of a car and Mom was driving, and he was reading the Goldfinch and I was reading a separate piece, and for some reason we were both being the most annoying people on the planet, and Mom yelled at us
Nice.
in the car.
I think it's
Was
funny 'cause
that
no matter how
not
old
that
we
long
get-
ago?
No, it was
Yeah.
recent.
It was
We
for
were
the Elton John
adults.
concert.
It was for the Elton John concert, and
I
we were
would-
both in the back for some reason.
I would say that one is the worst because it was just being ourselves.
It was. We got in trouble for
Loud.
being ourselves.
And she needed directions, like she needed to know where to go. Same with like Harry Face Prank or Jolly Rancher Hockey.
Harry
They
Face
needed to
Prank.
focus, and it was like.
You know what's funny is during Jolly Rancher hockey, I think I was driving,
Yeah, and
You
you're
were?
fine.
but I
Yeah.
was. I don't think I was the one who got mad.
You weren't.
No.
You
I
were
didn't wanna know
driving.
who
Mom
won.
was in the
no,
passenger seat. Mom got mad
And
I
was
had
just
a
like,
full
"It's
view of it
fine."
all.
Yeah.
because
But
I was
I-
in the very back seat watching Jolly Rancher hockey right in front of me, watching you guys, and I just wanted to go to sleep.
Okay.
I do think
I
we
was
made
little.
you get lost though because the
did.
focus.
We
Oh, I
made you
definitely-
lose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't-
yeah.
No, it was.
You can't blame that on you. I would have gotten lost anyway.
Yeah,
I,
there's
I
no-
would have gotten lost there.
But
It was
You
dark.
think you're so self-important that it was your fault?
Yes,
my-
yes.
Yeah.
I think it was the
I
Jolly
think
Rancher
my favorite
hockey.
thing about Jolly Rancher hockey is that all it was us
Yeah.
holding Jolly Ranchers, trying to hit the one first, but it didn't do anything because all we did was clash our hands and then
Yep.
nothing. It didn't move.
Harry
Or we
Potter,
lost it.
Voldemort, almost.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
that's-
yeah. That was why we kept
There was
on
no
losing.
goals.
losses.
Where we made goals, but we couldn't get it because all we did was just like at the same time push each other's hands. That was so dumb.
Who did you ever think that when you were doing that, that would become like a core memory for
No.
all of us?
Honestly, it's good that we got in
Yeah.
trouble because I wouldn't have thought about it as much as
Yeah,
same as
Right.
Harry Face Prank is. Well, Harry Face Prank we
Oh.
remembered because we always thought that was funny. If once I put my hoodie on
Well, 'cause we got 'em.
backwards,
We
then
got
it
'em.
was
Well,
that got intense.
Then no, You know what? Harry Face Prank was the dumbest because you guys were actively trying to distract drivers on the road with
In-
the hairy face.
In a major city.
And yeah,
Listen, it was also
Our
the
it was
defense-
the
passengers.
dumbest.
It was also the passengers. Like,
No, it
wouldn't
was
have to
not.
be
The
the driver.
side you were on, it would have been the drivers.
We were
I remember
stopped
the
when that
entire thing.
happened. It was stopped
No,
when it
the
happened.
side. No, it was
No,
during.
when we got yelled at, we were stopped at a stoplight.
But you guys were
Yeah,
doing it
We were practicing
on
safe
the
road
highway.
use-
Yes.
sort of-
Most people did not look at us.
No,
at
we were
least-
getting everybody.
I hope we got
We
at
were
least
getting
one
everybody.
person.
No, I think we got the person. There
No,
are somebody that
we-
turned their
So
head.
There's
no,
someone who
we
did a double
got the
take.
person who did the double take, and we were laughing about it, but it was at a stoplight. That's the one we got in trouble for because
Wait,
because
could-
someone we
could-
said someone did it. That's why we got in trouble.
could we have even? Because the windows are tinted.
No, that's the
Oh,
whole
really?
thing. That's the whole thing is that we can't get them, and so it's
But
all.
why'd that person do a double take? But why that person?
So tinted windows, when you're stopped, you probably can, but when you're driving by, none of the people driving by would be able to see anything. But the people stopped right next to us, the way it was, they probably could. So that's the people we were joking about. The whole thing, though, is the ones who are actually driving are not going to see it from the back seat. It was like never going to happen.
Either way, it was very
Funny.
annoying.
Annoying.
Because Dad
The-
was trying to drive
the-
in his.
The viewers at home know what it is, of
Oh
course.
yes,
of course.
the Harry,
Oh, Harry
the
Fraser
funniest
prank,
prank
yeah.
of all
And Mark
time.
puts on his
Oh
glasses
yeah.
and his hoodie on backwards, so it looks his
Oh no!
face.
Don't explain it.
It was,
If you know, you
I
know.
know, it's
Harry.
just
If you know about Harry Face
you know,
Prank.
some people have hairy faces. It's that.
Some people just
It happens.
The
They
one
sit
guy,
back
the
seat.
one guy we got is listening to this podcast. So like, holy shit,
like,
I
"No
knew
way."
it.
It was them. He's been thinking about this every day
Would
for
like have hairy face.
fucking how long has it
It's
been
ruined.
since Harry Face Prank?
It's
Has
ruined
been like
his
10
life.
years. Yeah, I have.
yeah.
Yeah, now he's
Guys,
finding
I
out
have
that it was
to-
all just a prank.
I have to pee so bad.
All right,
Go, go, go.
I'll-
Harry face
Oh,
prank is my
man.
favorite joke of all time.
It is a
Because
very
I-
funny.
I also
memory.
know because like the people who are actually driving, not a single person gave a shit or would even look over. And if they did, they would not care.
Well, would they?
You know what?
Let me
I
say-
would care if I saw that.
I feel like we, as the collective group, we're all exceptionally well at coming up with ways to pass the time on long road
Oh,
trips.
for sure.
True. And if we
He-
didn't, we watched Night at the Museum too.
Correct.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
did.
Our last Disneyland trip, when it
Yeah.
was like, I think that one went by so quick.
You know what was funny was that like that one. I know I was older, right? Like I don't remember how old I was.
Wait,
but
like Disneyland? Do you mean like as a family or when we went for Matt's
Yeah.
bachelor? Okay.
As a family, as a family.
families. Because I was like, I wonder if it'd be different car ride. Like I remember like beforehand being like, I'm older now. Nope, it felt exactly the same. I felt like I was a kid again. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we talked more than we used to as kids. As kids, we'd always watch things, and then this time it was like I don't even know what we were talking about. but
I can't imagine how annoying it was to listen to us,
But-
but it was fun.
Thinking about the bachelor,
Oh.
we still are good at like coming up with the shit
Yeah.
because most people do the what. I feel like the stereotypical games for road trips are like I Spy or whatever, but we do call box of who can call it out
Yes,
first and tallying call boxes. That was
Yes.
fun. With
I was gonna say how I knew in Little Miss Sunshine that they were in California is there's a call box in one of the shops.
Oh,
And I was like,
yeah,
call
you
box.
found it.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's
Or, like,
California.
the jerky was like a whole thing, and then we went back for
Yes.
the jerky.
Oh yes, the jerky.
But Luke, you eating the Takis on the way to Matt's bachelor party, the whole
Yeah.
bag is so
You
know
know,
easy
that-
thing to do. And so like,
And it-
you just
Yeah,
turn into a
it
different
didn't
person on
upset
road
my
trips.
tummy.
It didn't hurt your tummy?
I'm definitely in my best
Yeah.
mood because the worries are just like
Yeah.
there on the trip.
Yeah.
It's not like any yeah, and then we ate Ralph's fried chicken. That upset my stomach. The biscuits did, but
Luke, that chicken was
the
not
Takis-
cooked. It did not look safe to eat.
I was talking about this fried chicken with mom just
The
a couple
Ralph's-
hours
the-
ago.
Luke, it was Ralph's fried
Ralph's
chicken.
fried chicken and
Ralph's fried chicken that we got at like 10:30 p.m. at the Ralph's.
that's what
Like,
I was
of
telling her.
course
Yeah.
it's gonna be not good. What do you mean?
Yep.
I would be shocked if it was actually chicken.
What are you talking about? That was the worst decision you could have made there. What did I eat? I don't remember what I ate though, because I probably ate something suspicious too.
Maybe I ate it with
What?
yeah.
I totally forgot about that. Where you just walked into a Ralph's and we're like, "It's so late. What do we get? Chicken."
Yes,
Fried
the rotisserie chicken there. Or whatever. it
I
was.
think I ate some of that too.
You probably did. It was probably
Yep.
you and me.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh boy. All right. Did we do it?
I have to
Do we have-
stop drinking while we do podcasts because my bladder is non-existent.
I said, yeah. Your blood alcohol content's probably crazy if you keep drinking.
Yeah,
throughout the whole
it did
podcast.
sound like you're talking about that.
I gotta
stop
drinking while we do these
Gotta stop.
Gotta stop.
Crazy.
Gotta stop.
Should we rank this on the scales?
Are you guys ready? Does
I think
anyone else have
so.
anything?
Oh, last thing.
This is a movie.
What?
That I like the critique of beauty pageants, obviously,
Yeah.
at the end, because it's like they are absolutely rancid and horrible things. And I didn't know if they were going to get into that, to be completely honest, because I didn't know if they were going to make it with the way the movie was going. So
Yeah, I didn't know
I
either.
like that the ending is also like a these things are absolutely horrible events. But I will
I
say Frank's
honestly-
Little Beauties, I'd say it did it first, but it didn't.
I was just about to say, what did it tastefully? More tastefully. Little
Yeah,
Sunshine or
Frank's Little Beauties was
Beauties?
tasteful. I actually thought that they weren't gonna make it. I thought
Yeah.
that was the movie, was that they weren't gonna make it, and then they were there, and I was like, oh, and I
Oh.
was like, it hasn't been however long this movie is. Good time for a movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's
It's-
hour 42?
Yeah, less
Yeah,
than
great
2 hours.
time.
See you can pack a serious punch in less than 2 hours.
That you
Yes.
can.
You don't have to make movies so long. Anyway.
Take notes, Mr. Scorsese.
Wait,
Oh.
no, don't shit talk Mr. Cheddar on here.
He has good
We
eyebrows.
I still don't understand.
He has great
And
eyebrows.
So Mr. Cheddar is the rat?
I don't get
In the
He
scoop?
looks
Hamster?
like him. Matt, have you seen Mr. Cheddar?
I don't know what we're talking about.
I'm gonna send you a picture, and I need you to tell me if it's Martin Scorsese or Mr. Cheddar. Okay?
What?
Okay.
Spot the difference. Just like the likeness.
Spot the
Matt,
difference.
spot the difference between these two pictures. Okay. See the
Oh,
first one?
yeah.
I see the first one. These
The second one.
these are the same picture.
Exactly, it's Mr. Cheddar.
I
Cinema
can't
for real.
understand the ending.
That is so okay. I swear, Letterboxd users are the fucking bane of my existence. Sometimes I can't look at anybody's. I unfollow. So I have a few people on there that I still do, but I had to unfollow every serialized person. I had to unfollow most of the Letterboxd people because even the ones I like, the way some people just talk about movies that they don't like just fucking
Oh.
irritates me. Like it
Yeah.
just gets
Yeah.
under my skin how they're just like just the way people critique things. It's like it's same with YouTube videos. Like just the way people
Mm.
like talk about like everything just gets under my skin so much. Like Godzilla King of the Monsters. I don't like that movie, but it's like there's a way to just be like this movie's weird. Like and
Yeah,
move
or
on.
just say you
not
don't
like,
like
this
it.
movie
Yeah.
fucking
Well, that's why-
sucks.
I rate every movie a 5
Mhm.
or a heart, and
Yeah.
if I don't like it, it's just I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
But
you
th-
don't have to be an asshole about.
Sorry,
things.
that reminded me that picture of I didn't understand a movie. 5
Why?
stars on Letterboxd.
That's
like
me and Luke.
cinema for real.
That's me and Luke though.
real.
Just say you hate
Yeah.
Luke and I's taste in movies.
No, yeah, you check your letterbox and I unfollowed both of you. I was speaking
It
of
wouldn't
you.
surprise me.
We're talking
Yes,
about you.
yes. Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's
What's that
Charlie
from?
Day.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, he
Thank
didn't
you.
understand. It's like he didn't
Yeah, he
get
just-
us.
He just doesn't
Yeah.
get us.
the dumbest.
I like that you said Charlie Day instead of Charlie Kelly. Did you? Someone
I
did,
did. merged.
Yes, that was
They
me.
merged.
Sorry.
They merged. We actually don't have anything to rank because this
Oh,
is
yeah.
the only movie
Oh, yeah.
Right.
we have in the
it's number
restart.
1.
It's number 1 for everything. Also, I'm getting rid of the problematic
Okay.
category because it's just gonna be us. Like,
Yeah, we want
putting
oh, we-
fucked up things against each other and deciding
Yeah.
which one is worse. So let's
Yeah.
not do that. And so we have 4 categories. So if anybody like has a suggestion for a 5th one, it's open. There's a spot open.
Okay.
Okay.
So just
I
keep that in
don't-
the back of your brains
I
because we already
figured out.
have
Oh, this
Yes.
is unrelated. I'm sorry. Continue.
we already have unhinged, disturbing, gay, and sad. And this definitely is the top
And
of all
that's
4
a
so far.
beautiful quartet. So I think
is
we
a
might
beautiful
want to
singer.
keep it like
It's a
that.
good
Okay,
yeah.
but if you do have an idea,
Mhm.
spot open on the page.
I figured out what
Is-
my name would be.
Ooh, oh god,
Ooh,
I didn't
yes,
think
okay.
about it.
Totally forgot.
Okay.
What?
It'd be Bartholomew, and it would
Okay.
be so I could be Barty.
Barty.
Barty
Proud
Crouch Jr.
Jr.
Also,
love
because
that. I love
Fastest
it.
man alive.
Bartholomew. I can't say it now. I can't say it.
Bartholomew?
That's what I want my name to be. Bartholomew. And the Oobleck was what the book was with the Oobleck.
Ooh.
So-
I forgot about that.
So
Hmm.
that would be my name. That's a pretty cool name.
That is
I also
Barty.
also you have to say if you like your name because I don't like my name, so I would change it.
You don't like your name?
No,
You don't like your
Why?
name?
I've never liked my name. I don't know.
Really?
What if
Maybe
mom
it's
and
'cause it's
dad
too-
listen to this?
That's fine. It's fine.
It's
I am
too
who I
fun.
am, but it's just not my.
You are who you are. I
mean,
like your
maybe
name.
maybe it's because it was too
I
close.
like
to,
it.
Maybe
Cool.
it's because it's too close to Matt. You know, growing
Oh,
up,
yeah.
that it's like,
Oh, right.
and because we're the Bible, you know, so like
Oh,
maybe,
there's
maybe
that.
it's
That's
also that,
not-
and also because it's a 4-letter name that's very white. Bartholomew is a long. I like long names, like where it's
Yeah.
like.
You are white. I
No,
know.
I know,
I'm
but it's a
just pointing
basic
out
white
that you
name.
are white.
Basic white name.
The argument is a little strange.
I have to have a white
Um,
name, I guess, but like you know,
No,
it's
okay,
the
let's-
basic. It's the basic white name that I don't like.
I
Give me something more than 4 letters. But Luke is a pretty cool name, you know.
like my
Matt-
name.
Matt has
All of
Matthew.
your names are 4 letters. Yeah, his Matthew. though.
Matthew, but
like
Luke.
Bartholomew.
Luke is a better.
Wait, hold on. You just said because Mark was too close to Matt, but you want your name to be Bartholomew Matthew.
Hey,
cool,
that's
cool.
it starts with the B. One starts with an M.
You know what I want for my name? I want like my given name to be something like I don't know, just like Alexander, but then to have like a nickname like the people from The Sopranos, where one of the guys his name is Polly Walnuts.
Yeah,
I want something like that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Just like I like that you were like just a name, and so but you still changed Matthew to Alexander, but you
I was
wanted
like,
your nickname to be
hmm.
Polly Walnuts.
Alexander.
Yeah.
That's good.
If I had the name Alexander, I'd go by Alexander, not Alex, though, because I like.
Really, yeah, because
Yeah.
like
Like
a long one.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Luke.
I like my name. If I were to
Nice.
change it, Zach Aquarius Johnson the 16th.
I knew
Ooh,
it.
That's a
I
good
knew it.
name.
I knew
Love
it.
Yeah. Zach Aquarius. Is that hyphenated or one full word?
Zach
Depends on what you want to do with it.
Aquarius.
Zach Aquarius,
It's
but
not
it's
even
gonna be
an Aquarius.
Wait, is that
yeah, it's gonna be
shortened?
Zach Aquarius, but you guys can
We
spell it
are
however you want.
different. We
I'll
all
just
have different zodiac signs. Isn't that
Zach
interesting? Mark, even though we're only a few days apart.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're all different. Matt, you're a Gemini.
Yeah.
Luke's an Aries. I'm an Aquarius. Mark is a Pisces.
I'm just surprised that you and Mark are different because you're
I'm-
5 days apart.
I'm on the last day of Aquarius.
You're a cusp.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
Huh.
cusp.
Cusp.
I just think that's interesting.
Luke, would your
That
name
is
be
very
shortened to Zach or Aquarius?
Hmm.
It'd be like
To Aquarius.
Zach
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Zach Hawk.
With a Q at the end.
Zach Hawk Johnson.
Zach Hawk down.
Oh, that's good,
Hawk
Kelly. Kelly,
Thank you.
you're gonna be upset, but that might be my favorite joke you've ever said.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
Serious?
joke.
Are you serious, Black? I need to stop
Okay,
while I'm ahead.
okay.
I need to
You know
quit while
what?
I'm ahead.
You know what? Yeah.
Serious Black Hawk Down.
Oh,
Whoa!
guys.
Whoa.
Black Hawk Down. That's gonna choose
Whoa,
Black Hawk
wow.
Down.
Don't tempt me.
Luke, get off
What
the
the fuck is
chair.
happening?
Luke, stop standing on a swivy chair.
Mark, it's funny you bring it up because the movie that I'm picking came out the same year as Black Hawk Down.
2001? No way,
Yeah.
Matt. No way you're choosing it. You're choosing it. You're choosing D squared, aren't you?
D square?
D squared.
Dungeons
Those
and
are
Dragons. What is
D
D.
came out in 2001.
Duh.
Never mind. You didn't pick it.
I'm genuinely blanking on what you're talking about.
No,
Wait,
because he's-
2001.
Just say the movie. Don't
Okay, are you
say
guys
double
ready?
D.
No, wait, we want
Are you
wait,
guys-
Wait, nobody else-
First, we want Luke to say what he was
Okay.
meaning by double D. What
Nobody
asked
asked
Donnie
me what my
Darko.
name would be.
Donnie
Donnie
Darko.
Darko. Right.
Oh, Donnie Darko.
Kelly, what would your name
Um,
be?
Yeah, we didn't ask
Oh,
Kelly
yeah.
what her name would be.
What does your name be?
My name would be Pontius Pilate.
That's good.
There was, I mean, there's a Pontius in the Righteous Gemstones.
There definitely is. No, it would be Jack.
Jack.
That's what I
Oh,
was going
nice.
to be named, and that's what
Named
I would
Right.
pick
after,
if I had a
Jack's
different
good
name.
Jack's
Jack
cool.
Pepper.
But my number 1 is Pontius Pilate, and then my number 2 is Donnie Darko.
Donnie
Mhm.
Darko.
Wonderful.
2001, Matt. That's an
Okay.
interesting year.
That was a
Donnie
good guess,
Darko.
though. Luke,
That was a good guess.
Donnie Darko's a great guess.
As
Well, you're
far
picking Fellowship of the Ring Extended
not-
Edition.
It's not going to be wet hot. Too easy.
as far as I'm aware, none of us have seen this movie.
Ooh,
Ooh.
okay.
If you had to
Okay.
What
think,
did you put on your list of a movie for every year? Oh no, it must have been Wet Hot if it's 2001.
if
For
you,
what? Oh,
if I had to ask you, what are some
What?
of the best filmmakers of the 21st century? Who are some of the people you'd say?
Fuck, who made Joe's Apartment?
Yeah. oh wait, that was 20. It's
That was the 20th century.
David Wayne.
Fox. David-
Yeah,
David
good
Wayne.
guess.
Oh, who's that
Well,
guy?
y-
Actually, I have nothing in my head.
You know what's interesting is this has a connection to Star Wars that we were talking about earlier.
Steven
but it's
Spielberg.
not
Oh, I
Star
know you're
Wars.
talking-
Oh.
I know what you're talking about right now. You're talking
you?
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you heard of this little movie called Moulin Rouge, starring Ewan McGregor?
Oh my
Baz
God.
Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann.
Yes,
I like
Baz
it, Matt.
Luhrmann, director of The Great Gatsby.
God
I like
fucking,
it,
Matt.
fucking
Thank
that
you.
director.
No,
No, I'm good with
Mark,
Moulin Rouge.
it's a
I'm good-
musical.
No, I'm good with Moulin. I
It's
know
a
what it-
musical, and it's Ewan McGregor
I
and
know
Nicole
what it is.
Kidman.
I'm good with the movie. The director isn't. I've
Matt,
seen that scene in The
I'm
Great
so
Gatsby of him
excited.
driving the car.
I love
Hayden-
The Great Gatsby. I think it's hilarious.
Katie helped me pick this out because
Nice.
I had done a thing where she wanted to watch a romantic movie, so I made like a bunch of ones where I was like, here are some options, and one of the options was Moulin Rouge, and we hadn't watched it yet, and she was like, why don't you do that for the podcast, because then we
Mhm.
can watch it together, and I was
Playing
like, hell
chess.
yeah.
Playing chess.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I like Romeo plus Juliet. I think it's
I haven't
super
seen it.
fun. So I'm so excited.
I didn't like Romeo plus Juliet, but I watched it in school, so you know that
Oh,
always.
yeah.
But I
Oh,
was
so did I, though.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? They were shooting.
I was having so much
instead
fun.
of swords, they were shooting guns. It was weird.
The best depiction of Mercutio I've ever seen. Luke, you know who plays Mercutio in Romeo plus Juliet.
Who is it?
It's Harold Perrineau.
No, really?
No
Yes.
way.
Yes, and he's fucking incredible. Anyway, Matt, I am so excited. I think that is a phenomenal pick.
Thank you.
You and Katie did a great job.
Thank you.
Very good.
It is on Hulu, by the way.
That is
I've
one
been
that
wanting
I've
to
actually
watch it
wanted
for
to watch.
so
Yeah,
long.
me too. It's been on my
Good.
I-
watch list.
Clutch
It's-
pick, Matt.
I
Thank you,
listened
thank
to. Wait, do you know anything about it?
I just
They're
know
in
it's
Hulu.
1890s Paris. That's all I
Okay.
know.
There's okay.
Rugrats
I'm
and
not-
Parrots?
Yeah, don't even. Yes, it's basically a
So
remake of Rugrats in Paris.
So true, so true, so true for that.
So true for that.
All right, we're at 2:18.
That's a good pick.
Are we
That's a
good?
Oh, that's probably. I
Okay,
think we're
Moulin
good.
Rouge.
See y'all next week.
It's Moulin Rouge with an
Good pick,
exclamation
Matt.
point.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.